What's up, Bobo? How you doing? Sorry we're so late. Angela's still not yet ready because, yeah, one of our clients is having a baby. So all of a sudden, everybody's scrambling. How you guys doing? Doing all right? Hanging out? Are you feeling sad? Bobo says there's too many deaths this month. Yeah. I feel that, man. It's been really heavy. It's been wild, actually. This eclipse season, the absolute tragedy in Nepal. I can't even, believe it. But yeah, man, this eclipse season has been rough, and I don't know if the Pisces eclipse is going to be any better. So, how's life? How's life north of the border? Angela's going to be with us in a minute. She is just finishing off her, she's doing last looks. Bobo, she's doing last looks. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'll tell you, this is been one of the weirdest energy periods that I've been through in a long time. I don't know about you, but everything is weird, man. And I mean, it's not just the news. It's not just the politics. It's not just all the shit. It's the general overall vibe is just weird for me. You know what I mean? I'm feeling so oh God, I don't even know how to describe it. And I know, I don't know, I guess, whatever, just everything feels very narrow. Does that make any sense? Archival's here. What's up, Archival? How you doing? Anyway. So yeah, just going through it, just having a really weird time getting through whatever is going on right now, which I can't even explain, except that the only thing that explains it astrologically are these damn eclipses. But holy crap, man, Dolly Parton, which, 6 days ago, I think it was, she tweeted, she was like, I still have many things I want to do with my, my life. There's just too many things I want to achieve with this life. So she had all this optimism. But I've known a couple of people who've died from cancer, and they were almost always optimistic to the end. There was one who wasn't, but that's because she was down to skin and bones, Is that too detailed? Is that too much? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the time has come. I bring you Angela. Hey, Angela.
Every time anybody says the time has come, I always think of, what's that Canadian band? Midnight Oil?
Midnight Oil is not Canadian.
They're not Canadian?
No.
Oh, you made me think they were Canadian.
They're I did.
Yes.
They're Australian. You probably think I made you think they were Canadian because they led a march
Yes.
in the Canadian
Seemed like a very
rainforest.
Canadian band thing to do. Anyway, we go, the time has come to save us.
I love that song. You crank that shit up. It's a badass song. Archival Raccoon said, applause. She has the applause sign,
Applause for me. Yes, please.
Oh, no. Hang on. Angela's mic.
My mic?
Yeah, shit. Hang on. I knew this was happening.
Well, that's okay. I didn't say anything important anyway.
Go ahead and talk.
I'm talking.
Oh, my
Can you
goodness.
hear me?
Not yet.
No?
Keep talking.
Talking. I can hear me. I can hear me right now.
Yeah, but you're not. I'm telling you right now. I don't know what happened. This whole thing is gone, and I don't know what it is. All right, let me do this. All right, talk.
Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Keep talking.
About
I just need you to talk so that I can get your levels, because for some reason your sound went away. I can't explain it.
Oh, okay. My levels.
Yeah.
Have you adjusted my levels? Are my levels adjusted?
Can you just talk about something?
About
Like
what?
Dolly Parton? She
I
died.
don't want to talk about Dolly Parton. It makes me too sad. She's America's grandma, America's aunt, Aunt Dolly to everybody,
She's Aunt Dolly.
beloved to all. There was this guy who who tweeted about how a bunch of Europeans agree that Dolly Parton was like the characteristic of America that all the Europeans wish America was. Like she's very, very much Americana, but in the way that is our ideal and not actually how we fucking act and behave. You know? It's difficult. All of these, we got to prepare ourselves, folks. All these legends are going to pass away.
Yeah, well, we've talked about this before. There's an echo. All right, let me work on it. The echo.
There's also the fucking hammering from the
Well,
construction site
it's
down
not
the street.
the hammering. Oh my goodness, sorry guys, just give me a minute. I don't know what happened. I booted up my board and everything was gone. All my settings were gone. And Mercury's like direct and bouncing around.
Are we going to troubleshoot this live, or are we going to figure this out and then come back?
No, I'm gonna troubleshoot this live. I mean, if you guys don't mind, I'm gonna take a shouldn't take long. I'll figure it out. Just give me a second.
Okay. How can I help?
Well, for now, just don't talk. I know what it is.
It. You done got it figured?
Okay, guys. Sorry,
Is it figured?
it's figured.
Congrats. Dale done figured it out.
I did. I figured it out. Yeah, you get the reason. Anyway, everything should be copacetic at this point. Oh my goodness. File. Let me just make sure. Yeah, I'll just say it's on. Okay, perfect. There we go. Angela,
Yes,
I'm so sorry that I fucked up your voice.
that's okay.
It's the best voice, though. It's like such a beautiful voice. There should be some kind of rule against it. You know, some kind of statute.
Archival Raccoon says, yes, perfect applause.
Great. All right, listen. Let's get some. Let's get some of the bad news out of the way. Beyond that isn't just about the beloved Dolly Parton or the beloved Tim Curry, which is it's just so much, and I do want to talk about them at length. But before we do, I just want to get it out of the way. Blake Lively got 5% of what she asked for. She got 5%.
Awarded attorney's fees
5%.
that were legally, she was allowed to claim them because of the lawsuit that
The
the judge
anti-slap or whatever.
that the judge ruled was frivolous and baseless. But for some reason, the judge also ruled that she wasn't entitled to everything she was asking for in attorney's fees. He gave her a small smidgen. I mean, ultimately, Blake Lively got paid for her troubles, and Justin Baldoni got nothing and has to pay.
Well, that is not.
If you're looking
I
at
think,
the scales, they're not.
I don't think that's an accurate. Goodness me, I don't know what it was. At first, I was like, "Has death come for me?" Like, I was choked to death a second ago. Blake Lively brought a lawsuit against Justin Baldoni, and it cost her millions upon millions upon millions of dollars to do so.
Yes.
And Justin Baldoni, it cost Justin Baldoni nothing. Like literally.
Oh, no.
It didn't cost him a
Listen,
dime.
this is not what the judge decided. The judge ruled on his lawsuit, which is separate from her lawsuit.
Let me finish what I'm saying, because I don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're right about any of this as far as perspective goes. Blake Lively.
No, not perspective. The judge ruled on his lawsuit. She prevailed on getting his lawsuit thrown out, and then she asked for awarded damages. And what was it? It was treble damages and attorney's fees. Okay?
He basically.
So it's just his lawsuit that we're talking about. We're not talking about her lawsuit. You get me?
I mean, it's real convenient. Sure.
No, that's the facts of what's happened.
No.
This is what the judge finds.
His lawsuit
the
was
final thing the judge needed to. Everything else was settled. The judge needed to rule on this one last thing, which is how much is she awarded because his lawsuit was frivolous. His lawsuit.
I was there. I know what happened. Blake Lively lost this case. She lost every aspect of this case. She won nothing, and including losing one of her close friends in Taylor Swift. And after thinking about it long enough, I understand why. Like I do. I understand why, because she could have fought this battle internally too. She didn't have to turn it into this whole thing, and maybe they would have laid off on their thing. I don't know. It's just the problem is
It's a bit inarticulate. I'm not really sure I understand how you feel.
So what I'm saying is, well, how I feel is
What's your opinion?
feel.
Not your feel, but
Threw me off the rails with that.
your opinion. You
Yeah.
said this whole thing. She didn't have to fight. She could have fought it internally. Well, then she wouldn't
Not
have had
like
a lawsuit.
internally, but like just fought the
wouldn't have
war
had
in
a-
Hollywood.
The smear campaign wouldn't have been exposed. Justin Baldoni's fighting 1,000 other fucking lawsuits now
No,
because
he's not.
of the information that Stephanie Jones and Blake Lively exposed.
No, he's not. Who is? Justin Baldoni? Brian Friedman.
Justin Baldoni is in trouble with his
Insurance
companies, so
Yes.
he's fighting lawsuits about that.
Well, I don't know that he's in
Because-
trouble with them. They're just denying coverage.
Okay, but there's lawsuits, so you can call that not in trouble. But that's my
But it's billionaire
that's
lawsuits.
my stupid layman's term for what the shit he's in.
Yeah,
right
but
now.
that's not shit he's in. It's billionaire
Okay,
lawsuits.
and then Brian Friedman is in trouble for taking part in creating smear websites, and the network of which wouldn't have been exposed if Stephanie Jones and Blake Lively hadn't figured out what was going on with the smear campaign against Blake Lively. And then Melissa Nathan and Jed Wallace, who created the smear campaign. Why are you looking
Yeah.
at me like that?
I'm not looking at you like anything. You're good. It's good. It's all good. It's all good.
I think the judge is.
I think she like flat out lost across the board.
I don't know what the fuck is up with this
think
judge.
she made a mess of this thing.
I know that's how you feel.
I think
It's
her
very
lawyers
strange.
made a mess of this thing. I think that it's easy to look in retrospect and say, what a bad idea, because I understand her reaction to the texts that she found or that she was presented with. And I understand that she was suffering, or that her public image was suffering as a result of the work that they were doing early before and shortly after and ongoing to this very minute, the smear campaign. So I do. I feel all those things. I feel bad for her about all those things. And I also understand and I can relate to and empathize with her reaction to them all. And I think where my issue is, I also feel like the whole thing's a big fucking conspiracy to pay lawyers. Like these motherfuckers charged, like they handed in nearly $8 million worth of bills to the judge, and the judge made the guy pay $400,000 of it, but he also made them, meaning the Wayfarer parties, he made them pay their own legal bills as well.
I'm with you on this one. We agree about this. I don't understand what the fuck the judge is doing, because he wrote in his own decisions where like Justin Baldoni's lawsuit was baseless and frivolous, and he was exploiting the fucking courts in order to create a fucking smear campaign, and it was bullshit. So that's what the judge said. But then he didn't award her what she's entitled to under this California law that gives her treble damages. And then when he whittles it down to like, okay, you can get attorney's fees. She sends the judge what it was that she spent on the attorney's fees, and he's like, yeah, you get a small fraction of that. Like, how is this interpreting the law in order to protect people, to prohibit people from, filing smear PR lawsuits like Justin Baldoni did? I don't know what's up with this fucking judge, but one thing I can say is that I'm glad it's over, because I got the notification from all of the subreddits that I follow about this case since we covered it so extensively in our previous lifetime podcast.
Yeah.
Called Too Real, a Hollywood podcast. And I was just like, it was like a fucking blast from the past. It was like when you get a text from an ex-boyfriend or something that you're like so over and long forgotten, and you're like, what the fuck are you in my life again for? No. So I got this notification about the judge ruled for Blake Lively 400 whatever. I was like, I'm not talking about this shit anymore. That's another lifetime. I've moved on.
Look, I know that there's a silver lining. I know that she exposed a bunch of bad people doing bad things. Those bad people are going to keep doing their bad things. A lot of people are trying to expose them, have filed lawsuits against them. There are ongoing lawsuits against them. These are bad people doing bad things. I think she sacrificed too much for too little. And again, easy to say in retrospect. So I'm not going to like pretend like she knew what was going to happen. But I do think that her lawyer should have had a better idea. And the reason why she lost this lawsuit is because she lost the SH claims at the federal level, and losing the SH claims completely crippled her going into a jury, especially after Baldoni's side decided to write a letter not contesting that her filings were all in good faith. As soon as they did that, they created an absolute so there's no necessity for any of that evidence now. It doesn't have a place in front of the jury. So that means that Lyman undoubtedly was going to strip that down to the bare minimum in terms of what the jury would hear. And it left her walking in with like nothing, like a wallet full of information.
You say undoubtedly, but didn't we all doubt that he was going to rule that way? It was kind of a surprise that he did.
No, I'm not. I said undoubtedly in terms of like after the fact. I'm not talking about,
Yeah. Judges. You had problems with judges when you were when your production was in a lawsuit with Leonardo DiCaprio.
For sure.
Huge problems with judges.
For sure.
Judges are troublemakers.
Billionaire. And listen, I wouldn't doubt that Steve Sarowitz is more right-leaning. And, Lyman is a Trump appointed judge. He's a right-leaning judge. So it just wouldn't, and the other thing is that like I said, I think they just, the money wins. The money just wins in the American system. The American system is not about justice. It's about who you know and how much do you have. And if you have those two things in order, then you have a chance, at least at duking it out for a minute or two. Anyway, whatever, man. It's over. The case is over. This is it. This is the final. That's my understanding, at least. Is that your understanding as well?
Yeah, well, I hope so. I mean, there's these continuing lawsuits. Like, we could still follow the Stephanie Jones lawsuit is still continuing. They're still duking it out about that, but I don't have the energy for it anymore.
I don't have any interest in it anymore. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I mean, look, what I was interested in was what was happening to Blake Lively and her getting justice, and it didn't happen. It just didn't fucking happen.
Archival Raccoon says at least a good precedent was set that the lawyer's fees can be recovered for the next victim of a sham defamation lawsuit, even if this was a bitter ending for her.
Yeah, but it wasn't, though. I mean, like, I see what you're saying. And yeah, maybe if it's some cheap ass lawyer, but like $400,000 did not cover the legal fees in this situation.
No, I know, but the federal judge did say that she could go and pursue this. It's a California law, so that she was trying to, this treble damages law, this anti-defamation lawsuit law.
Yeah.
I forget what it's called, but the federal judge was like, this isn't really the place for it, but you can go and get his ass in California if you want.
Where she should have, and it makes me wonder, like.
No. I mean, she can now again.
I she could have before they chose to go federal, and I just wonder why they didn't. And it makes me wonder if they thought they would lose. In California. I mean, I just don't understand why. Because they had to know if they're worth the half their hourly rate that they charge. If they're worth half their hourly rate, they knew that those SH claims were going to have a tough time sticking in a federal court. They had to know this. That's what they're paid those fucking monies for, is to know that shit.
The Junk Farm is with us.
What's up?
And said, I just hope Stephanie Jones cleans his clock. And it seems like maybe Amanda Ghost is benefiting quite a lot from Lively's efforts. She actually lost her defamation lawsuit,
yeah,
but only because she couldn't prove damages. And she said she made a statement that was like, I'm absolutely going to try to continue to do this again. She just has to, the court was like, yeah, you supported everything except for that one element of like, so she basically proved to the court.
Damages. It's the tough one. Like,
it's the tough one, but she basically proved to the court that they're doing this shit and that it is against defamation law. She just couldn't prove that. She just has to come back with more evidence about how she was harmed.
and so we live in this fucking world basically where somebody who has money can publicly bully you, and you can't do anything unless you can prove that by them bullying you, you lost something from it. Like, you're. I mean, I know that there are lines. There are, there are certain lines that you can cross. Like, if somebody says something that they know to be false and also to be reputationally damaging, then, and it's egregious. Do you know what I mean? Like, for example, like if Leonardo DiCaprio accused me of being a pedophile.
Damn.
Well, it's outrageous. It's completely impossible. And it would be an outrageous lie. But if he made that kind of an outrageous lie, that kind of an outrageous accusation against me, then he would be potentially liable, even though he could provide proof of damages, because that's so egregious. So there's like there's tolerance.
That's really interesting. So if their lie is bad enough,
yes,
you don't have to prove. Maybe does it have something to do with if they're accusing you of doing something actually criminal, then you don't have to prove damages?
I don't
because
know
the reputational damage is bad enough?
I don't know that it's
that's got to be
limited in that way, but I know that it can't be like a bunch of catty bullshit, right? He said, she said, oh my God, It's got to be like...
There's got to be some definition, though, because there's legal definitions for everything.
Yeah, I read it. I actually read it, and I'm sorry that I can't articulate right now. It's because I'm, stupid.
You are slouching so much in your chair that you look like you're getting smaller.
I'm about to fall off. Guys, I've had a couple of drinks tonight. Been thinking about some things that I've been wanting to talk to you about.
That reminded me, I saw this random interview with Mariska Hargitay, the actress?
Mariska?
Yes.
Huh.
Isn't that her name?
I don't know.
Whatever. She's on one of these like police procedural shows,
Oh, yeah?
She's the lead. She's been doing it for decades. And she was doing an interview where she was like, my only regret is that I don't ever get to do fun stuff. And then she just like randomly like pulled out how she's really good at playing a drunk character, but because she's always playing a cop, she can't ever be drunk.
Why? That's not because they don't follow them to the bar in their scripts.
So she did an excellent job. And she's like, it just sucks that I don't ever get to do that fun shit.
That's very funny.
Yeah.
I love it.
I thought you did a good drunk voice then.
Just now?
Mm-hmm.
I've had some practice. I've done some drinking.
Gonna practice tonight as soon as we get off this thing.
Why would you say that?
Because you're gonna go have some drinks after the show.
I'm not gonna go have any drinks. I haven't had a drink in 6 years.
You could if you wanted to.
Huh?
You could if you wanted to.
Yeah, but I don't. It's not even because I want to be sober. It's because I don't want to wreck my body any more than it's already wrecked. You know what I mean?
Because you got wrecked.
My precious body. All right. Well, listen. Let's get to the super sad news. Sorry, Blake Lively, that you fucking lost your shirt in this thing and your friends and everything else. You were fighting the good fight, but you fought it the wrong way. Not you, personally, but you by representation. And now it all looks bad, and it sucks.
What, to you?
Yeah, it looks bad.
Not to everybody. I mean, like, speak for yourself,
No, I think I represent everybody.
Archival Raccoon said that what you were talking about, the term is defamation per se.
Oh, thank you. Defamation per se.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you. Let's look that up, goddammit.
The Junk Farm said, I don't know how Brian Friedman isn't disbarred over this case. I've been appalled that he hasn't had worse sanctions, too. Junk Farm said, particularly when he said Lively criminally altered, in quotes, emojis. He's flat out accusing Jones's attorney of forgery and perjury. The guy's a fucking, what is it? He's a honey badger. He just doesn't give a fuck. He's just like, I just don't know. I don't know what he's like possessed by like, in those, horror movies, the face huggers.
Yeah.
You know the face huggers?
Yeah. Alien, right? Didn't Alien do that?
Yes. Alien had face huggers. And then people would peel the face hugger off and they would just walk around like normal and you didn't know they were infected by a fucking alien. I feel like that's Brian Friedman's deal. Like he got his lawyer, he became a lawyer, he passed the bar, he was like a legit lawyer. And then at some point he was just like completely taken over by this other like weirdo fucking entity that doesn't know shit about law and is just like running his mouth constantly. It's like, how the fuck did that guy ever pass law school?
Who knows? It's the weirdest thing. It's happened to me a million times. I feel like I just run into people who have these high achieving. I mean, Donald fucking Trump is president of the United States.
Don't tell me that.
Well,
There's no way.
there you go. I mean, he's the perfect
There's
example.
no way
I don't
that
even have to
Donald
take-
fucking Trump is president of the United States. You're not telling me that.
For a second time.
Nobody would ever imagine such a weird scenario. That's like if you wrote it into a screenplay, people would be like, "Nuh-uh, too stupid. Try again."
What's up, Quasar?
Oh yeah, Quasar 672 is with us. With a Bible quote.
Oh, let's hear it.
Matthew 5:25.
Let's go, Matt.
Settle matters quickly with your adversary who is taking you to court. Do it while you are still together on the way, or your adversary may hand you over to the judge.
That's a really great quote, dude.
Is that a quote? That doesn't sound very biblical.
I'm going to get it on my forearm.
Just one line though, so it's like all the way up your forearm, all the way
All the way
across your back, down the other one, and like
That's a great gag, man. If you just like somebody has to read it, they're like, "Do you want to read my tattoo?" It's like goes.
you gotta like
over
spin
back,
around, like
down by your thigh, and they're like, "Where are you going with this?" Just keep reading. It's a Bible quote. I love that quote. That's a great quote, and I agree with it.
Quasar says it's Sermon on the Mount. This is how much I know about about the Bible.
Well, I read the Bible once, but it was 30 years ago. And I forgot everything 30 years ago. Like I read it and I was like, okay, cool. You know, I think the only one I remembered was like, I remember John 3:16, because who can't remember that? It's in your face.
I think people are still reading it though. Like you probably could join a book club about the Bible and like get back into talking about it with people, because people are still reading it. It's not like
I'm not gonna
it's not
do
like
that.
it was on the bestsellers list and then like it faded away and then like people are like summer reads and then they went and got other like romance novels and stuff. Like the Bible is like people are still reading it.
No, I mean, I read it.
I know, but you were like 30 years ago. You can't remember it.
Yeah, so
If
I'm
you
not going
wanted
to
to
get
talk
into a
about people-
fucking
I think
book
it's
club
pretty-
with the stand. I
I
can't
think
remember
it's
that
pretty
either.
popular in book
read it
clubs.
twice.
I have heard.
Would you please, for the love of God, stop the hammering?
I know, it's like one guy with a hammer and another guy with a nail gun.
It's actually kind of romantic. I got to tell you, when you like see it from afar, it's really easy for me to recognize and realize why writers romanticize building a house. Like these are two guys, like the sun's going down. They probably got like nails in their, their lips.
Yeah,
you know.
nails in their lips.
They're just thinking and thinking and thinking,
Measure 3 times.
Say
cut
one.
once.
There's like one word conversation, like sentences, one word sentences in like long. Like they've been hammering since 7 a.m. And it's like it sounds like long, lonely hammers. It's not like bap 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 bap. It's like bap 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 bap. It's like
You're
it's like,
peeking a little. I can hear in this thing. It's weird that it's not like a crew building the house. It's like a guy.
no, I know. I dated a girl whose dad was a home builder.
He was just a dude.
Just him and another guy.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they'd go in fucking wearing a tool belt, and they erect a house. I mean, they didn't do the foundation.
I
and
love that
these
shit.
guys-
That's so awesome.
I know.
It's noisy as fuck in the neighborhood though. It's all romantic until somebody actually does it and then you can't fucking listen to your TV.
Like I'm in this phase of my life where I walk around and I think, oh, why didn't I do that? Like it happens all the time.
Oh,
like
yeah,
I
I
see,
know.
like these guys, I'm like, why didn't you do that? Like real estate's the biggest fucking money making thing in the world. You could have just been building on it and just like,
Dude, these guys, they wake up sore every day.
I know.
You don't wanna
And
do
they have
that.
calluses and
They're waking up in the morning being like, God damn, why didn't I do that? I could have done something else. We were just talking about this last week. There's a very
my hands are soft.
there's a common because you're a rich guy
The only calluses I have are on the fingertips
from guitar.
from guitar.
We were talking about it last week though. There's this very common human bias that people will always believe that the choice they didn't make was going to be a better choice. They always idealize the path they didn't follow as like being the best path, regardless of whether like that other path you chose, you could have chosen, could have led to complete disaster. Nobody ever thinks like that, though.
Well, you can't.
The path you're on is for sure worse, is the human bias. We always do that. If there was a fork in the road,
Yeah.
the way that you ended up traveling is not as good as the way you could have gone before.
No, it's the same thing when we were talking about like people who like with their Bitcoin stories, like my Bitcoin story about like not buying Bitcoin. Just because even if I bought the Bitcoin, all I'd probably have is another miserable story about
Exactly.
how I lost the Bitcoin.
Yeah, see, that's you confronting your bias and realizing it's bullshit.
But most people don't. Most people are like, yeah, exactly. Most people are like, oh my God, I want to be a billionaire.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I would have bought a pizza.
You want to be a home builder? Nobody wants to be a home
Seriously,
builder,
like,
bro.
like if I bought like $100 worth of Bitcoin in 2009, and then somebody was like, "Yo, dude, that's probably worth like $500-600 now," I'd be like, "What?" That's what I would have been like. I would have rushed to it. I'd be like, "Holy fuck! I better cash out immediately. This
Yep.
is profit."
That's right.
Because I'm not smart like that. I'm smart in other ways. I have other, attributes.
The Junk Farm said, "There's nowhere for you to club about the Bible in the South." Actually, funny enough, I just bought a 4x4 and it has a pretty good Bible quote on the hood.
What is it? Can't just say pretty good Bible quote. You got a fucking quote, or you got to bring it.
Bring us your 4x4 Bible quote.
Come on. That's like probably a deal breaker for me. I mean, it would have to run so good. It'd be such a good deal.
That's kind of, it's like,
Although it's a great, it's actually, you've said this before. Like,
What?
You want sort of, it's like a shield. In
shield.
the South.
Oh, yeah, right.
You have that on a truck, it's like a shield. But the problem is that people, like I told you, man, when I was doing the small group tour, and like they'll come and grab your hand and stuff and just start praying and shit. And I'm like, so it's just like you go in all covert and like, and all of a sudden, be like, hey, what are you doing? And you're like, let's pray. About what? What is it? It's not even cloudy.
The Junk Farm says, "Give me a second, I'll go look." We're going to find out.
This is so great.
You
Should
know,
we just all wait?
I'm not like against Bible stuff. I just feel like it's not really the most interesting book of myths. There's a lot of other books of myths that are way more like captivating. And I went through a phase where I really liked iconographic art, like paintings of people with like the golden or halos, and like all the rays of light and stuff. So a lot of that art is really neat. So I collected a bunch of this like Jesus and Mary art for a little while, and then after a few years I was like, what is all this shit? I went through a phase.
You're collecting. I wore a cross because I thought it was fashionable. I didn't even realize that I was wearing.
Oh, you were
a
doing
religious
it
symbol.
like Boy George.
Yeah, I was just like, it was like the 80s, and it was like I had long hair and a cross. I was like Black fucking Sabbath, and no, man, I was telling everyone I was with Jesus.
It is kind of
Which I'm
metal.
not, like I didn't find that offensive or anything, especially back then. But
I'm very surprised how mainstream it is to wear a cross around your neck, considering it is a torture death device. So it is pretty metal to wear a cross, I think.
it is. You're not kidding. It's fucking straight metal. Do you want to hear how Dolly Parton's death?
That's a very sad
How
sentence.
it's so sad. She's given us all something to live for. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. She locked away a final song. That's not going to be played until she's 100 years old.
What?
Yeah.
What? We have to wait 20 years for this?
I got to wait until I'm in my mid 70s.
Why would she do that?
Because she wants to give people a reason to live. Now, I do think that there are probably a lot of her fans who are around the same age of her. My mom, my dad, these
Yeah,
people.
right.
They're probably going to be like, you fucked me.
Yeah.
You fucked me right out of that song. Why would you fuck me out of that song? I've listened to every single one of your songs since you released your first song, and you fucked me out of the last one.
Did you swing yourself out of your frame?
Doesn't matter. I'm being theatrical. I'm allowed to do that.
It was very sad. Somebody said that Dolly Parton and Tim Curry died on the same day, but Tim Curry's people didn't want to announce his death that same day out of respect for Dolly Parton. I just think that that's so amazing.
I want to say
It would be so Tim Curry to be like, fuck it, I'll still be dead tomorrow. It doesn't matter.
I want to clarify that I feel like profound sadness of these two passings,
Yes.
both in their 80s.
Me too.
You know, for me, it's always unremarkable that people in their 80s die because I know that people in their 80s die. So there's an expectation. I have an expectation. So typically when I hear when someone dies, of course, there's the moment of silence, sadness, et cetera, that happens inside. It doesn't have to be anything we're talking
No.
about.
We're not talking about people in their 80s. We're talking about icons that live forever.
But there's something about like, Dolly Parton, it was like, I don't know, she was like a beacon of goodness. She was like, there's that, like I said, I read the Bible and there's like the story in the Bible where it's like, like show me one good person or whatever. I can't remember what it is. His story a lot, maybe, I don't know. You guys with the ones on your hood and all that other shit. But anyway, Dolly Parton was this beacon of goodness in our humanity. Like, even Rick Schroeder had nice things to say. I mean, he caveated with he didn't agree with her politics.
Yeah, he's such a piece of shit.
Because he's so gross. But he couldn't
That's
help
what you
but,
do when you're in a cult, man. You have to constantly couch it in your cult speak.
It's an important distinction though, because like there isn't a lot of respect flowing from one side to the other when you're on the extreme end or when you're on either end of the more extreme issues or the more I guess tense issues, like trans issues, trans rights, and all these other things. Like these are things where Dolly Parton, she could float around being fully progressive in the way in which she approached life and people. It's so funny because it's not progressive. She was like, and just like going with the scripture on it, man.
What do you mean she was not progressive?
Well, I'm saying what I mean by she was not progressive was that in her own mind, she was like, no, this is what's in the Bible. This isn't progressive. This is the law. This is what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
We're supposed to love each other. We're not supposed to judge each other. We're supposed to leave that for Jesus and everybody else. Everybody else is welcome.
Right.
We welcome people. We feed people. We care for each other. This is what we do. And so she was able to live her life while taking these really important positions that people like Taylor Swift or, other like iconic, celebrities who, when they take their position, immediately there's a tear, there's immediate, but Dolly Parton, man, everybody left Dolly alone, right? Like Dolly could like say like, of course, trans people are beautiful and welcome, and
it can't be understated.
I respect them.
It can't be understated how expertly she navigated those situations because they were constantly trying to pin her into one box or another, and she would just wriggle right out and make a joke and completely just. She was really like a, what do they call that? PR like messaging.
PR savvy, whatever.
Yeah, she was extraordinary at that. You hear these. There was this fucking Barbara Walters was trying to like catch her. Check this out. I saved this one because
I should
it was just
probably
so
let
egregious.
the cicada go. I got the cicada thinking I wanted a pet, and now I think I should probably just let my pet cicada go.
That's bizarre, babe. Okay, Barbara Walters, who I've never liked. She's always just like been so disappointing.
Corey Feldman might be a fucking weird dude, but what she did to him should have had her canceled.
Yeah, right. Barbara Walters asked Dolly Parton, of all people, do you ever feel that you're a joke? I guess because Dolly Parton wears these big, elaborate... Dolly Parton has said herself that she is wearing drag, that she is presenting an extreme femininity that like is like a costume of femininity.
Yeah, I mean, everyone
It can't be
sees
denied.
it.
You look at her and yeah, she's like got
We
her
don't
hair
expect
piled high.
that she wakes up and does that before
Right,
breakfast.
exactly. But so Barbara Walters interprets it as if, do you ever feel like you're a joke? Like she's wearing a fucking clown costume. Fucking weird question. So Dolly Parton says, all these years the people thought the joke was on me, but the joke's actually been on the public. I'm sure of myself as a person. I'm sure of my talent, and I'm sure of my love for life. I like the person I am, so I can afford to piddle around with makeup and clothes because I'm secure with myself. So she just did this repeatedly on all these interviews. She would just like hold the mirror up to the interviewer and being like, you're trying to frame me in this thing, and I'm going to turn it right back on you and ask you, what's wrong with you that you would frame anybody this way? You know?
Well, I mean, I immediately started to self-reflect. Like she has a great way of doing that where she's able to put it back on you.
Yeah. It's really brilliant. She's more clever. she's as clever as she is talented. You know, it's just incredible. She's a fucking icon. Somebody was talking about how, first of all, I'm very upset that all of our American treasures of that era are going to be departing soon. Somebody needs to put bubble wrap around Willie Nelson. I'm very upset. But I think that when Tim Curry had a stroke and he was sick and I didn't, obviously you have a devastating stroke that changes your appearance and your mobility. It seems like maybe that could be one of something else that happens to you. Oftentimes people don't survive those very well. He survived for many years. But when that happened, it sort of gave me like a little bit, I've always loved Tim Curry, and it gave me like a great chance at like trying out the sadness and grief. And then he wrote a memoir recently called Vagabond, which is probably extraordinary. I haven't read it yet. But also he gave interviews where he talked about death. And I just thought that that's such a great gift to give to fans,
Yeah, the quote that's circulating quite profoundly right now is the one where he says that he's not afraid to die. He's just trying to avoid it. He's not afraid of death. He's just trying to avoid it.
Yeah, right. I think this is from his book. He said, "But if death comes for me peacefully and I fade gently from light into dark oblivion, why would I be afraid of it? Sometimes I rather think it would be a comfort." And I just think that's such a gift to give to your fans, to tell them in advance how they should feel about it too.
I think it's like, for me, it's like the same as like needles. You know what I mean? Like I have a little bit of a needle phobia. Like when you pull out the needle, I'm like, oh, fuck. And they're like, okay. And I'm like, I'm not looking at you. I'm not looking at anyone, whatever. And
it's creepy.
So I think that's like death for me, like where I'm not afraid of death, but dying.
I know, it seems so tedious and like, uncomfortable.
Well, it's just like, it can go so many different ways.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
This
like,
is true.
Are we like the long haul dying? Are we doing the like, oh, I'm starting to lose weight. And then, 3 years from now, the cancer has finally whittled me down to bone.
You never know what kind you're going to get. You never know.
Or am I going to die like Dolly? She went out like on a stallion,
Mm-hmm. Sometimes I wonder whether some of these celebrities have assisted dying. Like, I think that's what happened to David Bowie. I think he was like, okay, excuse me. I think David Bowie was like, okay, I'm going to check out, guys. Thanks. Bye-bye. I wonder, he seems like the type that would do something like that.
I know some people, like my dad's one of these people, but like I know some people who will not. They'll be like...
They're like clinging to the bedposts.
like you're sitting there and you're like, they're talking over them, like, probably we should start thinking about taking him off of, the ventilator or whatever. He'd be like,
I know, fighting it.
My dad does not want to die at all. I think he's terrified of it.
He's this age too, right, huh?
He's 85. He's 85. So
yeah. Well, you got to get right with it sooner or later.
The sky is definitely cloudy.
I love this topic. It's kind of like, I can't tell if I'm a sicko or whether I'm just curious about things that, are kind of taboo. I feel like culturally we all suffer so needlessly because we don't talk about death, dying, grieving, the process. Like we don't, like everything's just a big fucking secret. And I feel like everybody has to confront this eventually, one way or another, for better or for worse. And like, that's just I think that we've mystified it so much. That now it's like, it's so scary when it doesn't have to be. So I'm always interested in like reading and learning about grief and dying, and except when it happens to my favorite celebrities, and then it's not so fun.
Dying's a very strange and weird thing that we're all going to go through. And yeah, we're all trying to avoid at all costs. It's the second, or the first thing we're trying to avoid is death. And then the second thing in utter irony is aging.
Aging?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel so bad about that one.
Trying to avoid, I say.
I always feel like I recall like youth being kind of a war zone. So I always just like, I've always kind of respected people that were old enough to not give a shit about anything anymore. The whole like social challenge of trying to navigate the world in your youth is for the birds. I'm glad it's past me. I've never trusted anybody that said that they loved high school. That like high school was like the peak for them. I'm like, you must have been really awful to people, because everybody that I knew, all of my friends, hated it.
So Tim Curry was somebody who I loved. He, you know, his, you know, the Rocky Horror Picture Show. There's a version of it that you can see in most cities in America, where there's like a big sort of production that goes on in the audience.
Yeah, you should. There's a theater that plays like a Rocky Horror double feature at midnight.
Right.
And you stand in line, and they go in the line, and they ask if anybody's a virgin. If you've
Correct.
never been there before, then they mark you.
As a virgin.
Yeah,
correct.
you get a big V on your forehead.
Everyone's a virgin, you know, once.
So the show starts before you even get in the door.
Yes. So I went to the Rocky Horror Picture Show with the, you know, for those of you who read the book, I went with Bill.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. And
I don't think that made the book, babe.
it didn't make the book,
Oh.
but Bill did.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Bill,
Okay.
we all know him.
Yeah.
And it was one of the more amazing experiences I've ever had in my life when it comes to the movies. I mean, it might be the most unique experience I've ever had in a movie theater. I mean, it is 100%. And I've been to silent, you know, like in LA, they had an actual, like, you know, intact silent theater. I don't know if they still do anymore, but on Fairfax.
Yeah, I
Do you
think they
remember
do.
that one?
Yeah.
And they used to have everything. I mean, they had the live organist, you know, playing through the reels with the sheet music, and
Oh, that's dope.
it was fucking. They had the sort of vaudevillian, in between reels. You know, they'd bring out like kicking dancers and whatever else, and it was amazing. It was an amazing thing to experience in LA. It was wild. Why am I telling you this?
Is that where you saw the Rocky Horror Picture Show?
No.
Then why are you talking about the Fairfax Theater? Oh, you're saying that you love the theater,
I'm saying
unique
it's
theater experiences.
What I said is it's the most unique thing I've ever experienced, and I've experienced some really unique things because I went to the silent movie theater where it was wild, you know, and I went like 3, 4, 5 times. I don't know. I saw a bunch of
Okay, but
Buster Keaton reels. and
Rocky Horror Picture Show. Where did you see that one?
I saw that one at a theater in I don't know where, LA somewhere.
I think I had to go to Santa Monica to see it.
It might have been Santa Monica.
Yeah.
And it was, it was just one of the most highly unique experiences I've ever had in my life. I loved it.
I've heard that the audience throws bread, but every time I've been to the Rocky Horror Picture Show, it was always tortillas. Maybe it's because we saw it in LA.
That's like how they like yelled back answers
Yeah.
to the cast. You know?
It's a super fun experience. I love that. It's fucking iconic for anybody that like. I grew up very much identifying with like as a movie nerd, so I was really grateful to have that very unique movie going experience. But I gotta say, man, the Time Warp song is the most obnoxious song I've ever heard in my life, and it's really, really sticky. And I kind of wish I'd never heard it.
Stop it. The interesting thing about like the Rocky Horror Picture Show is like I really don't like the movie otherwise. Like it's fine. I mean, it's fun, and I get the camp and all that, and it's cool. Whatever. I don't have a hatred for it either, but I have no interest in it.
My issue with that movie is that the camera sometimes is on another actor or performer
Yes.
instead of Tim Curry. Like, I feel like I would really appreciate the Rocky Horror Picture Show a lot more if it was all Tim Curry all the time.
Yeah.
Because anytime that he's such a scene stealer, anytime they pan away from him, I'm like, no, wait, we could be seeing what Tim Curry's doing right now.
So we did what I'm sure hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of people did. I don't even know, but we watched Clue.
We watched Clue in reverence, in memory of him.
Yes.
I love this person on Letterboxd. I had to share this with you. Annie says that Rocky Horror Picture Show and Clue, it's a double feature movies where someone's car breaks down and people show up to Tim Curry's creepy mansion on a dark and stormy night to find a European woman in a maid outfit working for Tim Curry, and by the end of the night, at least 4 people are dead.
Yeah.
It's Rocky Horror Picture Show and Clue are both of these things.
It's pretty great. It's
So
amazing,
he
actually.
complained about being typecast in his early career, and it's true. He's typecast as this exact guy that hosts this mansion party. Anyway, Clue definitely fucking aged well. It's such an incredible movie. It's so strange. I think if you go into watching Clue and you think that if you don't understand that it's like it's supposed to be a play and like every character is blocked like a play, then I think you might be it might be a little bit of a weird, unique experience.
I mean, it's fairly obvious what it is. It doesn't really try to be convincing otherwise.
The only reason I'm making that point is that they don't make comedies like that anymore where you can just fucking do whatever you want and everything's weird.
Did you ever see Johnny Dangerously?
I did, yeah. They don't make those anymore either.
Farting cork suckers. Yeah, well, you know, okay, well, let's talk about Clue. We watched Clue, and I'll give you my tiny pineapples. You know what? Just may surprise you, but I'm giving it 3.5 tiny pineapples after seeing it again after so many years. I've seen it now 3 times, and all 3 times I was like, it's all right. It's all right. And you know what it is? I just don't really like that style of storytelling. I find it's amusing.
What style?
I don't know, like
Comedic?
Well, that comedic style, yeah. Well, no. I mean, I like, heartfelt comedies, and I like to be moved emotionally. And,
Oh, yeah.
And
It
there's
doesn't
no
do that.
emotional moving
It doesn't do that. No.
at all whatsoever. It's all like laughing.
It's all gimmicks.
And scantily clad women.
I find that delightful.
I'm saying it has a purpose. I get it. Popcorn isn't a meal.
I think that there's like Tim Curry said in an interview that he was really nervous making Clue because there's several parts in the movie where he can't even take a breath. It's like the fastest delivery here.
When he's running back and forth, when he's doing the...
Tim Curry found his role in Clue a bit scary because the character never draws a breath for most of the movie. Tim Curry was also exhausted because of the rapid fire monologues and running and so much running he had to do in the final scenes. Spoiler. Anyway, he said that his blood pressure was through the roof after filming and he had to go to the company nurse for treatment. And everybody else is like, that probably wasn't from the running, bro. It's probably because you guys, you're using substances. Because, it's the 80s.
Also, there was another death. The guy who voiced Optimus Prime.
Oh, yeah.
He was 85.
I didn't realize that he'd done so many other cartoon characters. He had a really huge career. He did the voice of...
Well, that voice was amazing.
I know, he did the voice of Eeyore, too.
He did?
Yes, and a bunch of others.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's even more legendary. Uh-huh. So they always throw the one that like made the most money, but that isn't the best one.
Well, he worked most consistently doing that, because they did the fucking movies and he's in those and everything else.
Fuck is his name?
His name is Peter Cullen. He's a Canadian voice actor.
Peter Cullen, Canadian voice actor.
There's a really great...
Oh, he looks like Bryan Cranston.
He tells the story in a bunch of these interviews and appearances at the Comic-Con and shit about how he came up with the voice. You want to hear it?
He's the same age as my dad. He looks like a very nice person.
Yeah, he seems like a very nice person.
He worked all the way until like recently. He has credits right up to 2026. Yeah, tell me what
Constantly working.
Yeah, he's one of them guys.
He said that he his older brother was like a decorated war hero, and after the Vietnam War, he like was living with him, and he went to go, and this guy Peter Cullen got the audition. He's like, I got an audition. I'm so excited about it. He's like, I'm gonna play a truck that talks.
Talking truck.
A talking truck, You didn't know what for, whatever. He's like, I'm just going to do my best. But apparently the character of the talking truck was a hero. And his brother was like, no, but you can't do something stupid like standard hero voice. He has to be like a real hero, like somebody who's like compassionate and gentle and like guiding people. And so he decided that he was just going to sort of take sort of parts of his brother's voice, right?
Yeah.
And that his brother's guidance and sort of make him... And throughout everything I don't know if you've ever seen those Transformer movies.
I think I saw the first or second one, or maybe I saw them both.
But as a character, the vocal shape, right? How he delivered that character as like a specific type of hero that's really paternal.
Yeah.
He totally sells it completely. It's really neat. And apparently he had a lifelong friendship with the guy who plays what's the bad car? What is it called?
No, if you'd have asked me 40 years ago, I'd have been able to tell you like instantly.
Optimus Prime, you guys in the chat probably know. Megatron, the guy who plays Megatron.
The guy who plays Megatron?
Yeah, apparently they're like lifelong friends.
So great.
I know.
I wonder if they like, when they argue, if they like bust into their
Oh my
like,
God, they should. That'd be amazing.
be like the only way to really argue, I think, you know?
I had one friend who was really, really good at doing impression voices, and and he would get so annoyed at being pestered to do the voices, mainly by me, because I would be like, I would just like goad him to do whatever, performance.
All right, you ready for the Junkyard Farms quote?
Yes, what is
His
it?
truck. He lifted me out of the slimy pit, out of the mud and mire.
It's perfect.
He sat my feet on a rock and gave me a firm place to stand.
That's perfect for a 4x4. That's a 4x4 Bible verse if I ever heard one.
Dude,
That's so stupid.
I think Bobo dropped Peter Cullen at the same time that I started talking about it or something.
The junk farm said about the Bible verse, he lifted me out of the slimy pit, out of the mud and the mire, and he set my feet on the rock and gave me a firm place to stand. He's like, well, why'd you buy a winch then?
That's really funny.
It's ridiculous. See, that's
Proves
what
Jesus isn't real.
some
Right
people
there.
some people really do use their free will for whatever the fuck they want. Like, you want to just go like paint a Bible verse on your car, you can go do that. Nobody's gonna stop you.
Yeah. So Dolly and Tim, farewell,
Yeah,
and Peter.
it's
farewell,
very
Peter.
I'm very sad for Miss Piggy, especially. She was involved with both of them.
She was.
Yes, well, Miss Piggy had a friendly rivalry with Dolly Parton her entire life. As being the other busty blonde in the show business.
Yeah.
And then
They were up for a lot of the same parts and stuff.
and then when somebody asked an interviewer asked Tim Curry if there was anybody if there was the one that got away, if he wants to tell the story, and he was like, yes, Miss Piggy.
Tim Curry says that?
Yes, Tim Curry famously was so secretive about his personal life. Nobody even knows his sexual orientation. Nobody knows anything about any of his romantic involvement. His personal life, he like on his Wikipedia, the personal life section, missing. So the only person he's ever talked about being involved with, and apparently it was like a torrid love affair, was Miss Piggy. Is that great?
Some people just know how to deal with fame. They
Yeah.
understand what it is and what it means and how to use it.
And this is
I
the
love
thing-
that he tweeted just before he died, he was like 80 LMAFO or whatever.
Oh, I showed that to you, and then somebody immediately corrected everybody that was sharing that. That's a fake account. That's another thing about celebrities is that everybody makes fake accounts of them.
Yeah, but now I'm exposed, I'm like floozy podcaster.
But he was often answering people who would like eulogize him, and he'd be like, "If you wouldn't mind waiting until I'm fucking dead, thanks."
Crazy stuff.
Yeah, he was really great.
Yeah, I'll miss him. I mean, when he had the stroke, it was so sad until his like wry sense of humor came right back out immediately, and you're like, oh, okay, this is just you're just in some kind of like whatever glitched body. Everything else is working great. I knew a woman who was a neighbor who had a stroke, and like half her body was like no. Mm-hmm. And she lived forever, and it was just talking to half her face. She also had a very difficult. Hers was worse in terms of like she had a much more difficult time verbalizing. She could, and apparently she was like totally herself mentally, but just the process wouldn't prevail.
And so, how'd she deal? She just adapted?
Yeah, I mean, she did a lot of sitting in the same chair, actually. She did a lot of sitting in the same chair.
I hope that if something like that ever happens to me, that I could just adapt, just move on with my life. Like,
I'm like, just let me play video games or like let me read. Like if I could just do those two things, you know what I mean?
Like I think Tim Curry kept a really great
And
sense of humor.
let me like take care of my, I don't want to get into it. That's enough. Reading. Let me read.
I was gonna say I think Tim Curry did a really good job of keeping his sense of humor. You know.
So I'm saying, he was probably right to the end.
It's so sad.
I just, as soon as I said probably right to the end, I literally like played this little loop of him, while like the families or whatever, the close loved ones are all around him, and he goes, and then like as a joke, there was like, oh, and there's like,
No. The last thing he goes is that iconic laugh where he goes, ha ha. That's the last words. I loved his whole career was so incredible because he would choose these really bonkers roles. Did you ever see, when you were a kid, did you see Legend, or was that kind of like, did you age out of?
I saw Legend.
I saw Legend.
I think Legend was 80 something.
What was it? 80? When was it?
I'm looking it up. You just talk.
I was at the age where Legend had it zapped my brain. Like
85.
85. Okay, so Legend came out when I was 2.
And I was 15.
My parents had it on a VHS.
Tom Cruise doesn't look any different.
Yeah, this was before he had his teeth fixed or something. So apparently he doesn't talk about Legend. Anyway, Ridley Scott fucking nails this movie. It's so crazy, everything that he did, and especially the Tim Curry character. Tim Curry plays Darkness, the demon, the devil character.
Yeah.
And it was like such an astonishing. I can't say it was like a sexual awakening for me because obviously I was too young to know what the hell that is.
You were 2.
But there's a bunch of movies in the 80s where the protagonist girl looks just like me, right? So Mia Sara was in a bunch of these movies, and I had the same hair and coloring, you know?
Yeah, no, you're totally the same type.
And Jennifer Connelly was in a bunch of these movies,
Yep,
you know what
same
I'm saying?
type.
And so
Yep.
it was so easy for me to put myself
In these roles.
in these
Yeah.
movies. So when Darkness is trying to convince her to be joyful in marriage with him, it was just it totally zonked my brain. Tim Curry was so incredible in that role. I don't know how he's basically playing he's playing the same Rocky Horror Picture Show character. You can see it in his shoulders.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, but he's so built up in all of the prosthetics that you can't even see him, but it's the same. He does the same sideways smile, and the way that he turns his shoulders and his neck and stuff, it's incredible. If you watch any Rocky Horror Picture Show clip of him dancing and strutting around, and then you compare it with Darkness, it's like he completely translated it into this new role perfectly, seamlessly.
I forgot that Ridley Scott directed this.
Well, that's why it's so fucking good. It's so clean. I can't believe that they did such a huge production on a fantasy movie. I don't know that they don't do those very often. It's amazing that he was oh yeah, we're going all in, boys.
Yeah, he's one of those directors, you know. He's like I mean, Oliver Stone used to be like that.
You can tell it's a Ridley Scott movie because all of the scenes have haze, smoke, something. Ridley Scott hates air purifiers.
Ridley Scott
Don't give me clean air on my set.
was born in 1937.
Oh yeah?
1930 fucking 7. That dude is 89 years old. Okay? Ridley Scott, 89 years old. He has, as a director,
88. He's going to be 89 in November.
I stand corrected. My bad. He's much younger than I thought. He's 88. He, as a director, has 8 upcoming projects.
Yep.
That is impossible.
Can't stop, won't stop.
He has 8 projects in upcoming. And as a director, somebody's getting fucked. And, you know what I mean? They'd be because people walking around Hollywood and be like, oh, really? Yeah. What are you working on? Oh, dude, I got this thing that's, we're in pre-production right now, actually. What's it called? You Should Be Dancing. Oh, cool. You got any big attachments? Yeah, Ridley's directing. Yeah, Ridley. He's directing, yeah. After he gets through the other fucking 8 at age 88.
Just hoping for the best.
Treasure Island. Roads to Freedman. The untitled Ridley Scott Simon Mann project. So I guess Simon Mann's like, and then he'll die, and then I'll take the whole thing over.
Do you have a favorite Ridley Scott movie?
Well, let's see. I'm sure I probably do, but
I'm afraid that if we talk about him too much, then we're gonna jinx it, and he'll be passing because dude's fucking old, dude.
I don't think we can jinx that. I think old age comes for us all.
I can tell you my least favorite Ridley Scott movie.
Gladiator 2.
I thought Prometheus was garbage.
I didn't like Prometheus either, and a lot of people thought that it was like it did not do well overall. Generally speaking, most people didn't like that movie.
Yeah, but I see it praised all the fucking time. People will show clips of those like weird fucking like white creatures he's got in them in Prometheus. It looks so fucking stupid.
So where did I know two people, no, more than two people, I guess, but actually I knew two people before they worked with him. Jeremy Sisto and Pedro Pascal. Let's see. I mean, my favorite Ridley Scott movie is probably the one that had the most effect on me as a child, as a kid.
Which one?
And that would be Blade Runner.
Oh, yeah. You're right about that. That's the best one.
I think my second favorite Ridley Scott movie, with all these wonderful movies that he has to choose from, is probably
Gladiator?
Black Hawk Down.
Oh.
Did you ever see it?
Yeah, once, a long time ago. I don't really remember it.
It is. It's a masterpiece. Mm-hmm. It's a masterpiece. I'm.
I get that one and Saving Private Ryan confused. I know that they're different.
Directors.
Well, and also different wars, but yeah.
And different wars, that's true.
But they're both praised for being very realistic, with the filming and the editing.
But yeah, I didn't like Prometheus. I didn't see Gladiator 2, and I'm not going to.
You're not gonna?
I don't think so. People are already like panning on it. I'm like, well, if you guys don't like it, I'm not gonna.
Okay.
I didn't see Napoleon. I heard that's not very good.
Do you want to talk about this disaster that happened on the other side of the world?
Well, this whole eclipse season is gnarly.
This eclipse season is weird, right?
It's been gnarly for me.
So here's the thing.
It's been gnarly for my friends.
I know. Here's what's really weird is that the sun was eclipsed in Leo just a week ago, 2 weeks ago, whatever. And that was, all the astrologers were like, iconic solar figures will be falling. It's basically like a power outage in that area of our society, right?
Yes.
And here we are, all these like iconic performers, these people who like their whole life as we knew them was in a spotlight, are falling.
Like really big ones.
I know. And then the Pisces eclipse is rounding out. This is the very last of the Pisces lunar eclipses. And this one right before a huge water disaster. Apparently what happened in Nepal was that they don't know whether an ice glacier cracked and fell. Something like the distance that it fell into a mountaintop lake was, what is that? Burkina Faso? No, whatever. I can't remember the name of that really tall skyscraper in Abu Dhabi.
No idea.
Whatever. One of the tallest skyscrapers in the world. They said it was like twice the size of that. That's the distance that it fell. It created, just the falling ice created a 5.2 Richter scale earthquake.
So I watched the video. The video is the most devastating, horrible thing you've ever seen in your life. It is like those epic movies of natural disasters, like playing out in real life on video. If you haven't seen it, I certainly would not recommend seeing it. unless you just have that, you can't abstain from the curious pull. But it is the most devastating thing. I think it's worse. I mean, obviously the catastrophe itself is not, but to watch, it's like worse than any of the tsunami stuff I've seen. The thing that about the tsunami stuff that gets so dark is those Indonesian ones or whatever. Those where hundreds of thousands of people died, like that. Like when you see that wave come in and you know that morbid ending.
I know it reminded me of the footage of the 2011 Japanese tsunami. That was really, really horrific.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like
Yeah.
that one. Well, that hit Japan and it hit Indonesia.
Yeah.
And it's like the combined was like 250,000 people dead or something.
It was just the wildest disaster. And it's so crazy that everything's on film now, you know? Like we could see horrible disasters. It's probably one of the most extreme kinds of this type of glacier event. Because, in Nepal, the fucking mountains are so, Mount Kilimanjaro is there, isn't it?
I don't know anything about it. I know it's Tibet. That's all I know.
Or is it Everest? I can't remember.
No, I don't think
Whatever.
Everest is there. But I don't know. I don't know.
Super, super tall mountains. And so whatever crashed down from this like mountaintop lake was at a speed that it was basically like a bomb explosion. They said that it was almost like a nuclear bomb. That's how fast the water and all of the sludge and all the rock and stuff was exploding into this.
It was
mountainside.
insanity. I mean, it took seconds to overcome them. When it finally got there, there was like it was moving at, and I mean, it's the most. I mean, it leaves me utterly speechless. I feel terrible for the people who have suffered lost ones, who have lost loved ones. When you see the videos out there, like to have somebody you know and love that is in that crowd somewhere or even identifiable, what a god awful moment.
There's a bunch of I don't know if you remember, what was that presidential candidate, the guy who was talking about as a presidential candidate he said that part of his platform would be to fund the movement of people, like the migration of people away from potential climate disaster zones, like to relocate people.
I don't know who that was. Really, there was a presidential
Yeah.
candidate who was like going to move New Orleans.
He didn't get very far, but it was an interesting idea. It really did make me start thinking about like this region. They used to have towns in this. This is like a very, very narrow sort of like gully in between these humongous mountains, and they started building all of these little towns and settlements down by the riverside. And of course it's a flood zone. Of course, even in like a horrible rain, that all of those towns are going to flood. So this sort of thing was predictable since there's glaciers, and glaciers will crack and fall and do all kinds of shit at the top of a mountain. But somebody was saying that the reason that it didn't used to be this hazardous because they used to have towns higher up the mountain that they would pack into with pack animals, that they would visit with pack animals. But since everybody started driving cars and they started industrializing all of this whole area, that they started building roads, and you have to build roads where it's flattest, and so you go down to the bottom. Well, of course, that's why everybody in all of their towns was completely decimated by this very predictable, horrific, catastrophic flood, So there's a lot of
I
other...
mean, I don't know if it's predictable.
It's predictable that glaciers can do weird shit and glacier lakes can overflow, and then that all has to cascade down to where everybody's living below.
Dangerous for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely a more extreme situation, but any sort of damage is predictable. Whether it's this catastrophic, probably not, but
I after the shock and horror kind of like settled a little bit, I immediately thought about like how this is like 1,000 year from now archaeological dig, because it's the kind of thing where like, because like when you think about archaeological findings and you think about like there's the prepared, sort of tombs and sarcophagi and sarcophagus and stuff and all these things where they like try to seal them and create mummies and all sorts of stuff. But then there's like the Pompeii. You got the bog mummies. You got these like scenarios where there's like these circumstances that create sort of a preserved state for these archaeologists today to, examine the past in just an incredible detail. And this is those kinds of events. Like, this is one of those events that could very well be where they find whatever it is, 100 skeletons, in these various positions, and then see the sediment and start putting it all together. And I just immediately, my brain, like, I don't know, does that make me broken? Am I broken?
No. One of the reasons why I like social media so much is because you get to see these accounts by these like super nerdy geologist nerds, and they'll go to like a mountainside that's like been sliced off, or some sort of like whatever broken rock side, and they'll show you the lines and what they mean, and then there's like, see that black line? You guys see that black line? Like that very, very
right.
different black line? That was when everything died.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's
like these disasters are recorded in the layers,
Yeah, of course.
But they're saying that there's, because this is a really well publicized example of this very, very specific type of geological disaster, natural disaster. There was this guy on social media who was like, the city of Juneau, Alaska is currently being threatened by something very similar because the glaciers.
They'll always have the movie.
What?
Juneau? Yeah.
Oh, the movie Juneau?
Yeah, the movie Juneau.
That's very different.
I know it's different.
Yeah. So, it's like, when are we going to start like relocating people so that they don't die in these disasters,
Right away. Let's get right after it. Because like, if there's one thing we know, it's America is fast acting in the climate change world. They care, and they're doing something about it.
The next 7 years of the planet Uranus in the sign of Gemini is supposed to represent changing borders and movement of people. So we'll see whether that's a theme.
So, I've been working on all this shit and this gear again, because I got to fucking whatever. I'm going to get into it, but I was working on this shit. And so I have to watch these tutorials because sometimes I fuck things up and I don't know what I'm doing. So, I come across this, I'm updating drivers and do all this bullshit. And I learn about this thing called NVIDIA Broadcast, I think it's called. And they're trying to create this like full in-house suite through NVIDIA that is like streaming and, just basically this like sort of broadcasting suite that they've created. Mm-hmm. And I saw this little Indian kid, couldn't have been more than 14, 15 years old, has like 150,000 subscribers, he's Johnny enthusiastic. And he's pitching this technology. And what he was showing was that it's using AI to make him look like he's looking at the camera, talking to the camera. He was looking off to the side with
the
his
whole time
eyes.
he's like reading?
Yeah, so you could be like sitting there and just reading a prompter right here, and everyone sees you looking right into the camera.
It's creepy.
It's creepy.
Do you think that's useful?
Yeah.
Would you use that?
No. I think it's great for like politicians and like, whatever. I think like influencers are using it now for sure. Because if you're script heavy, I'm not script heavy. I don't script at all. I'm unscripted. It's Dale Unscripted. Should I have called it Dale Unscripted?
Oh no, we have to change everything.
Fuck. Rebrand, guys.
I don't know, man. It's been heavy. I also am getting kind of hosed by this fucking eclipse. For some reason, it's like really, it's making my fucking brain buzz.
Hey, I am getting just absolutely crushed. We took that period of time off. Should have taken it off through the eclipse. For real. I'm just getting, and like also like my gear and everything. Like I'm going through this process where I'm just trying, like I'm streamlining everything so I can cut and edit these videos and get like the evergreen stuff out that we do, because we do a lot of evergreen stuff around here, or stuff that has at least long shelf life, and I have just run into one major motherfucking obstacle after another. It's just so weird because it's like I don't know, I seem to like set things up so I don't know, fragilely, Like I make them so fragile for some reason, and I just fucking break them all the time. I don't know what I'm doing. I just don't know what I'm doing. I got to face the truth. I just don't know what I'm doing. Tony Scott was one of the sadder ones to go, says the Junk Farm. Listen, dude, I got to tell you, man, that was one of those profoundly sad days when I heard he died, and then when I heard the manner of his death, especially the failed first attempt.
Oh yeah.
I was devastated. It was like it was right up there with like learning about like Yelchin and like these other like deaths where you just like fuck, where they just hurt to hear about.
I know it is kind of a mercy that Dolly Parton went in a natural way.
It seems like relatively peaceful way.
Yeah, that she had a sickness and then she passed in old age.
Yeah.
And it's also a mercy that Tim Curry, went in a natural way.
Nice and easy, just eased
like
out.
it's so awful when
like a dim switch.
Mm-hmm. It's so awful when the celebrities that we enjoy so much seem to have, suffered or,
But Tony Scott, like that, there was so much like martial energy. Like there was, it was so like insane.
Yeah, it's so fucking dark, dude.
Oh, it's the darkest, the absolute darkest.
Do you want to say what happened for people that don't know?
Well, I'm not sure what caused it, but he had some kind of psychosis, right? Some kind of psychological breakdown.
Oh, nobody. I don't think anybody spoke to him that day.
Why did? We're gonna find out. Why did Tony Scott?
Tony Scott tried to jump off a bridge and was stopped.
Yeah. Yes.
By some random passerby. He was prevented. He was like grabbed. Then he apparently drove to another bridge and jumped off.
Yeah, you're right. It remains unknown.
And nobody knows why. That's so...
He left notes for his family and his loved ones in his car and office, but they contained no explanation or motive for his actions. But yeah, in his first attempt, he got pulled off of a fence. I guess he was trying to get over a fence.
Mm-hmm.
And he got pulled off of it. And he ran away.
Yeah, because this was Los Angeles or like by the beach or something.
Yeah, I think it was like Huntington Beach or somewhere around there.
Yeah, there's like everywhere in LA, there's like a ton of infrastructure that keeps people from falling or jumping off of bridges. So if there's a bridge, there's going to be a giant fucking curved fence over it.
Some say he had cancer, but there's no actual proof of anything. Anyway, that one really shook me, like Bourdain in that way, like where you just wake up and you're like, it was Chris Cornell, Anthony Bourdain, and Tony Scott it was like getting hit with a sledgehammer. Especially because like if you're, I'd always had such strong mental health. Even like when I went through the worst part, what I felt was the worst part of Don's Plum, I still had like, none, like I didn't have any kind of depression that led me down any kind of ideation or any of that kind of thing at all, ever. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like it never occurred to me, except for when I was a little kid and I was surviving all the crazy shit. And that's when I kind of made a pact with myself that, I could beat this out, this life that was happening when I was a kid. So it was just, that was the only other weakness I ever had in my life, psychologically speaking. But during the passing of many of the people we're talking about, Bourdain, Cornell, these guys, I was in a pretty highly vulnerable state. And I gotta tell you, man, it fucks with your brain in a totally different way. Like, so like I had, when I was much younger, I mean, in my 30s, my wife had a client who committed suicide, who was my friend. He used to, whatever. Anyway, he killed himself. And it was just like, I was angry as fuck or whatever. But I was in my own state of mind. I was okay, and so the effect on it was actually the effect it had on me was actually more like I was angry at him. At first, I was very angry at him. That he put us all through it. So this is the first thing that struck me was like just pure anger about it. And then of course then the grief came, was very close by, and I went through my grieving period of it. But when these other guys went, and I didn't even know these guys, I knew, the person I'm speaking about, and But when these other guys went, dude, it just hit in just a totally different way. It's sad, you know. It's terrible. The way in which it can like the way because right, it was Cornell who after he took his own life, the guy from Lincoln Park did, right, because of it.
Yeah, that's the story.
Crazy.
I think it's extremely reasonable for you to be like for suicide. Are we allowed to talk about this on YouTube?
We are right now. We'll see what happens, man. Be like taking us away in cuffs tomorrow morning.
I think it's super normal for it to be extremely shocking to people, even if you're not even anywhere close to the people that it happens to. And I have like, I always think of mythology when I think about this subject, because I think we all kind of have like this understanding of the continuity of time and our lifetime.
Yeah.
And I often think about the fates, the Erinyes. Are you familiar with like the concept? It's this mythological concept of like these three old women who are, they're sometimes called the Furies, the Moirai, right? You've heard that too? The Moirai?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Moirai, Moirai. There's three of them, okay? There's Clotho. She's the spinner. She starts the thread of life at birth. And so she makes the yarn, right? And then there's Lachesis. That's the measurer who decides how long the thread is going to be, the thread of your life. And then there's Atropos. That's the inflexible cutter who ends life by snipping the thread. And these are the weavers of destiny. And I love this concept so much. I think we all kind of have this understanding that there's like a continuity of time, and our life is supposed to be not ours to measure, that it's measured by this other external force. And whenever you hear of somebody who cuts their own thread, it's like super shocking, because you're like, well, that's not the way it's supposed to work. Like, we're not in control of the length of our thread. Like, that's for these like the three fates, the Moirai, to decide. So when somebody takes the initiative and cuts their own thread, it's like such a shock to the way that everything works, you know? For sure. I feel like that's one of the reasons why this specifically kind of hits us in a place within that's like kind of hard to discern why it's weird or wrong, like super dark, like really kind of, even if you intellectually don't have any judgment about people who commit suicide, like I don't, I think that people should be able to decide what the fuck they want to do with their life. But there's something about the act when you hear of somebody doing it that's like, it's a shocking use of autonomy, right? It's like one of the most extreme uses of autonomy. And I think that this is why, is because I feel like we all just sort of, maybe I'm speaking for everybody and I should be speaking for myself, but I just, this concept that like, whether we can logically articulate it or not, I feel like we all have this sense of what our destined path is. And when somebody just steps right off that road, we're like, well, you can't fucking do that. You know, we're all riding the bus together and somebody just like pulls the lever to get off. You're like, well, you can't, you know? I don't know. I always think about the Moirai when somebody checks out.
It's a great, I love the myth of the three fates. It's lovely stuff. I don't know if I have anything else to say about it except that I love it.
It's very cool imagery.
It is. Thank you for sharing it. Happiness in your life is with us.
Sweet.
Yeah. I'm excited because I feel like, you know, the other day, when we did the talk on friendship, that was like sort of I decided, you know, that was going to be the topic that I was coming in with. And last week. And then I also decided that was kind of like my rehearsal for, before we do her book interview.
Okay, great.
To get like, you know, because I didn't know how I would be in that situation. So I kind of thought, well, if I just create a topic.
I don't know how you're going to be either. You're like a wild card.
I'm a wild card. It's a fact.
You're a problem child.
Anyway, I do have some interesting stories. Do you want to hear some?
Yes.
All right, fine. I'll tell you them. You'll just have to wait. First of all, in like celebrities getting slapped about the face news, Ashton Kutcher got slammed over 2003 comments about a then underage Hillary Duff. He said something about girls that they included them in a conversation about like waiting for them to become of age, basically.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah. So
Well,
he's getting.
you know what's so weird is
it's
that
like there's somebody's. It's like somebody's trying to get this dude out. Like I just feel like he's always, and it's not because he's not. You know, maybe he does have, you know, some kind of sketchy ass past or whatever, and it's like just sitting there, kind of boiling and trying to like finally escape. But anyway, in the early 2000s, let me see, a 2003 clip from Ashton Kutcher's MTV prank show Punk'd is circulating again after viewers revisited the actor's introduction for then 15-year-old Hillary Duff. Kutcher, who was 25 years old at the time, began innocently enough by running through the young actress's booming career. Hillary Duff is in Lizzie McGuire. She's also had an album out. She's going to be in a movie called Cheaper by the Dozen, he said. Then came the sentence that aged worse than Y2K animal print tops.
Dale.
It's not my joke. I didn't write that shit.
My God.
No offense. This is a writer, Katie Rossley. She's a fine writer. Could be a he. Either way, it's good writing. I shouldn't make fun of it. Then came the sentence, and she's one of the girls that we're all waiting to turn 18, along with the Olsen twins.
Lord. Okay, so this sounds a lot like a smear campaign, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, not that I'm not gonna fucking defend Ashton Kutcher.
Me either.
He tried to defend his fucking rapist friend with a letter to the judge, being like, maybe you should be lenient on his sentence. Like,
gross.
Come on.
What a bad decision.
But I think the problem Ashton Kutcher has is that he runs an organization that's supposed to rescue people from human trafficking.
Yeah.
And he has this kind of stuff in his.
And it's just like, you know, then he's backing Danny Masterson, and so there's this like,
it's kind of an issue.
There's almost like a prevailing. There's almost like a cloud hanging over the whole thing.
I think some people suspect that organizations about human trafficking are created to save people when actually they use the intel acquired in order to do better human trafficking. There's this whole, I don't know if it's a conspiracy theory or whether it's actually investigative journalism, because I don't read a bunch of this stuff, but apparently Jeffrey Epstein was in an organization with one of the there's like a few anti-human trafficking organizations in South America that were actually trapping women and exporting them like into worse human trafficking. So these organizations are something that people have for a long time have been very suspicious of, and Ashton Kutcher used to run one. I don't know if he does anymore. You know, his reputation is fucked after he wrote that letter to defend Danny Masterson. So it might be that he stepped down from those organizations already. But this digging up old shit, like, isn't that exactly what they do to celebrities when they're doing
20 years ago
smear campaigns? Like,
I mean, it's 20 years ago. He's 25.
He's not in the news. He's not doing any fucking.
I'm not excusing 25. I'm just saying, like, 25 still of like the fucking, oh, I can say something and do something stupid unless I've made sure that I put myself on a career to be the next fucking politician in my neighborhood or whatever.
It just seems like a very strange thing to have in the
Feels like a hippies.
tabloid news.
Yeah, just I feel like, you know, as soon as I saw it, I was like, well, somebody's got it out for this guy.
Yeah, but like, and why do we care? Like, so he's a douchebag. Like, okay.
No, we don't care. I think that's the point. The point that we're making is that it's it's weird.
Yeah.
And I think that the weirdness might be coming from somebody who wants this guy to suffer. Mm-hmm. Because it keeps recurring. And I mean, he's giving it. I mean, it kind of started with that. Remember that whole thing where didn't he like find the murdered person, or it was somebody he knew, a woman?
Yes, a lot of people think that he is a murderer.
He's definitely not.
I don't think that he's a murderer, because the circumstances of this situation were that the person who was charged with the crime of murder. The story is really crazy though. Ashton Kutcher went on a date, right?
Yes.
When he arrived at her house, he noticed that she was on the floor And
Yes, he discovered the fucking body.
people don't know whether they should believe his story that he only looked in a window and then he left. I believe that Ashton Kutcher actually walked in to see if she was okay, saw that it was a crime scene, and then split. But then he didn't say anything, which was really bad for him. Okay? So the cops ended up talking to him and asking what was up, but they quickly ruled him out because they had a suspect who was implicated in another similar crime, who had done a murder, who was in that same neighborhood or whatever. I can't remember. The guy that they caught was linked to the crime, like with evidence. So Ashton Kutcher didn't do it.
No,
think
I read that and it seemed pretty like definitive that they got the right guy.
This guy's life is crazy.
And that Kutcher had no ties to this guy either.
No.
But anyway, it kind of began there. Like it was as if like, you know what I mean? Like there was a question mark or something that
they thought
got put onto his fame.
Right, because he didn't. He told the police that he saw her. I think he changed his story or something.
Yeah, he lied.
I think his story was like, oh, I knocked on the door and nobody came to the door, so I left. But then I think it was revealed that he actually was a witness.
That he actually saw the body.
Yeah, and so I can't really remember the details. It's pretty juicy. I think I saw a crime show about it, but I don't know where I got the other information.
Anyway, so I just feel like the guy's like, yeah, I feel like he's
not helping himself by writing letters to defend Danny Masterson. Though.
Exactly. You know, you get what you deserve in that respect. Ethan Suplee did the same damn thing, man. So did Giovanni Ribisi. They're all working.
But why is he in the news? Is just because he said something fucking 20 years ago or what?
Yeah, well, that's the purpose for this piece.
So why are you bringing it up? Because who cares?
Well, I was bringing it up because I felt like it was definitely like more like somebody's got something out for him. It's interesting to point that out now that we, something the Blake Lively trial certainly did for me was make me look at Preston in a more scrutinous way in that regard. Like, okay, so where is this coming from? Because when there's either a lack of relevancy or there's like where it just feels like
some shit from the past.
Yeah, like pulling up, shit from the past. It's not like we're talking about like some kind of new allegation or revelation or anything. It's just
is like Scientology mad at him or something?
Right?
Because Scientology does this shit.
That's a good point.
Scientology will do smear campaigns
they'll
for no fucking reason.
So interesting. I don't know, man, but somebody wants to put out bad press because I just don't think that that's like some writer.
No. Who cares?
Some writer sitting around, you know what we haven't talked enough about?
No, I know. I mean,
this thing Ashton Kutcher did 20 years ago.
If Hillary Duff didn't mention it, then who cares?
It's also got the whole stamp, right? Which is, it came out on social media.
Yes. Right. That's how they start the smear campaigns, is they have somebody write the thing and then they boost it and then they say, oh, it was just some random conversation. It's totally organic, right? It's grassroots, but instead it's AstroTurf.
Yeah.
I hate that I learned all of this. It's like...
I don't hate it. I like it. That's what I mean. The reason I brought it up is because I think it's actually neat that we can do that now. Like, it's so interesting because...
I'm just so I'm sick of being skeptical. I really wish that everybody would just stop bullshitting just for like 5 fucking minutes so that maybe I didn't have to constantly question every goddamn thing I read on the internet, Like, can we just be honest for like just a smidge so we can take a fucking break?
I wish I was a super savvy researcher because I noticed a pattern of Tobey Maguire, Leonardo DiCaprio Best Buds press that would come out typically just before Leo or just after or during Leo having a big publicity run for whatever movie he was in.
I know, it's like clockwork.
So I was like, and it occurred to me back then, like, is Tobey Maguire using Leonardo DiCaprio's, the press waves, right, to promote his friendship, create this tie, and whatever favor comes from it.
What?
Did I end is too abrupt?
Yeah, too abrupt. What are you doing?
I don't know. Disney, they're having a really good year.
Oh, yeah?
They're kicking ass. Yeah. And
Dale, do you have a story?
to celebrate,
Do you have a story that you care about?
to celebrate,
Do you have a story that's like interesting to you?
to celebrate, they're kicking employees' spouses off of healthcare.
Oh, are you fucking serious?
You gotta just let me get the story out,
Look at
Angela.
these fucking corporations. Tell me about a story that really fired you up.
That got me really fired up. That
Yeah.
one. That one got me fired up. Can you imagine? You're working your ass off for one of the biggest fucking Fortune fucking 1 companies in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, what is the value? What is the value of Disney?
What are you finding out?
I'm finding out what the current valuation of Disney is. It's got a market capitalization of approximately $184 to $189 billion, and they're kicking spouses off of fucking healthcare. Mm-hmm. I mean, I hope it starts with Flock.
Yeah.
But I hope people's eyes really start to open. Because
Oh,
that's
they're fucking
fucked.
open. People just don't know what to fucking do about it. It's hard to organize.
Well,
man.
they know what to do with the Flock cameras.
I know.
You make a sign that says "Go Flock yourself," and you sit on a lawn chair
you
and you
hold up
smoke
the sign.
cigars and you hold up the sign. Uh-huh. Real easy. I just thought that was I thought that was like. I'm sorry if you didn't enjoy my story.
Some of these entertainment stories feel a little tedious to me because they're so headliney. You know, I'm like, I want to hear about how Disney does business. No, I don't.
I thought a part of what we do is we're a social commentary show. Mm-hmm. Do you want to do this after the show? Do you want to straighten me out after the show?
Straighten you out? No, I don't want to straighten you out.
Get my story straight.
I'm curious about what stories you have that you're super excited about.
Well, I like that one for reasons I thought was okay. Here's the one that I'm most excited about.
Okay, let's hear it.
Each increase of 228 grams of fruit.
Sorry, that's such an odd number. 228 grams of fruit.
That's right.
Dale, you're not going to get 1,000 followers this way.
I'm not?
No.
Why?
Tell me about 228 grams of fruit.
This is headline stuff.
Oh my God, tell me more. What? I'm on the edge of my seat. What is it?
You don't care.
You have to tell me, though. It's a fucking Chekhov's gun now. You got to tell me what happens.
No, I'm not going to tell you.
God damn it. Please?
What they're saying is that every increase of 228 grams of fruit and 7.4 grams of fiber on a daily basis with 17 to 15% lower, it created 15 to 17% lower odds of depressive symptoms.
There's so many numbers.
Basically, if you eat more fruit
And fiber.
and you eat more fiber, people become less depressed.
That's amazing.
That just eating fruit and just eating fiber, you can be like,
You can tell that was
my life sucks, and then you just have like a bowl of grape nuts, and then you'd be like, it's not that bad, and then you were like, hey, is that a melon? Let me have some melon, and then you eat the melon, and you're like, you know what? I feel pretty good. I feel all right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You wake up in the morning, and then you're like, fuck this life, and then you're like, make some oatmeal. You finished your oatmeal, and you're like, you know what? It might be cloudy, but it's sunny inside, you know?
Yep. What I'm amazed at is
We're a public service, Angela.
what I'm amazed at is the conclusiveness of that experiment. Like they found out to the fucking decimal point. They figured out
Yeah.
the numbers.
17.4. Oh, I only had 17.3.
It's
I'm
crazy.
going to jump off a bridge. Like,
What else?
well, I'm kind of paranoid now.
Okay, check it out.
I don't want to be called out.
Do you want to hear one? You want to hear one? You
El
wanna hear one?
Nino is said to be the strongest in living memory.
Oh my God, I know about this one. I haven't talked about it because it's like, I'm kind of a doomer, and I'm trying not to like bring my doomer shit to your podcast because nobody wants to hear it. But yeah, it's real, dude. Shit's gonna get weird, and we're all just gonna have to brace.
I got a couple of really neat little stories for.
Let me share one with you.
Go.
Okay, the guy, the Flock CEO. The guy who everybody unanimously hates in this nation. He said that Americans have to just compromise on their privacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard
And so
that.
people started sharing his address on social media and they keep taking it down. Everybody keeps putting it up. Some guy goes, "That's fine. We'll compromise on our privacy. Why don't you go first? Here's a picture of your house in Atlanta, Georgia." And everybody's showing pictures of his house and putting the pin on the map of his house and sharing the address of his house. And they're like, "See, it's so great, isn't
It's
it?"
no problem, man. Don't worry.
No problem. But he keeps taking it down. Guess you don't like that, huh?
Yeah, that guy, yeah, he's, some people, they just get ahead in life by doing the thing that most people hate. It's like somebody's got to be the executioner. You know what I mean? But like, it's like, what are you eating? I'm having a bologna sandwich. What are you doing later? I'm chopping off some guy's head.
You can't say that out loud, though.
Well,
have to
I
use
guess
your-
I'm going to go down.
You have to use your inside
I've got
voice.
some other news. You want to hear some of the news?
Yes.
It's just like my shit's been buried because I got a couple things. I got like some guitar lessons here.
Yeah.
I've got some things about some recipes I want to try. Okay. So a couple of really neat little things. First of all, there was a time on this channel that I said that Obsession was the greatest success of all time, and I got corrected in the chat. But it is true that for a minute, Obsession had been the most profitable movie ever distributed, right? It was made for $750,000. It is currently sitting at $500 million in worldwide box office. Obsession. Yeah? So it was, until very recently, it was the most profitable movie of all time. And it makes sense. 750,000, $500 million. That's pretty good buck. That's pretty crazy. But it got beat out. It got beat out by a Chinese film that was made by a single mom with her son. They made a movie for $200.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And it has made over $5 million in the box office.
No shit.
But it's not because it's good. It is such a bad movie that it has become like a bit of a phenomenon.
Yeah.
If you want to throw on your
Oh, do I have
TV,
I have
I'll
my
show
TV
you
here?
a shot from the movie. Oh no, tell me no. There it is. Oh no. Yeah, bloody joking. All right, hang on one sec. I tell you, everything is broken. Everything I set up. Give me one
It's the
second.
eclipse, bro.
It must be, right? Mm-hmm. So I think it makes sense.
What's going on here?
Oh,
You
you
gonna
just
show
have to
me
give me a
something?
second. Yeah, I'm gonna. Will you just give me a second, please? People, I'm just not gonna have us on it. All right, guys, I'm gonna show you. Here it is.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
Yes.
Wait, so is it made with AI? What the fuck is this?
Maybe I don't know. They made it for $200.
What did she spend $200 on?
I have no idea, but that's the mother, that's the son, and that is a part of something that's in this movie that they made
Good Lord, that is the ugliest thing
for
I've ever seen.
$200.
Oh, we can look at your tabs here. We can see what you're looking at. OnlyFans, XXX.com.
Well, TMZ is embarrassing enough. I only look at TMZ for this show,
Sure you do.
but I am kind of addicted to it now.
Sure.
Although it's so smutty.
Yes, there's a lot of smut. You also hear about rappers you've never heard of with names you can't pronounce doing like
Yeah, and they're the biggest thing ever. Like,
Yeah.
I never even heard of that guy Travis Scott until that terrible tragedy. And I was like, now I know who you are.
Yeah. There is a
Very angry young man.
what was it called? What was his festival called? Something World?
Oh, yeah. Fantasy World, no.
Yeah, whatever. There's a documentary on Netflix about it.
It's a fascinating documentary. I really liked it. Did we not do our Tiny Pebbles on it?
I don't think we did. It's
Because it's so dark.
Is it called Astro World?
Astro World? Is that what it was?
I think so. Hang on a second.
Travis Scott Festival, right? What's his name? Travis. What's his name? Scott? Is that his name?
Yes. Astro World.
Astro World.
Yes.
That's the doc.
It is the Netflix documentary. Netflix has this documentary series where they profile a bunch of strange disasters.
Yeah. So, in
Hang on a second. Let me just find this.
What are you
called
finding?
Trainwreck: The Astro World Tragedy.
okay.
That was a really good documentary about the crowd crush disaster.
God, it was a fascinating documentary.
Yeah,
but
they
it
had a
wa-
bunch of experts on it. They did a bunch of graphics to show about the crowd movement and how they fucked up.
and how they actually, by making a couple of decisions,
Yeah.
like not well thought out decisions, it basically led to the catastrophe. So, do you know how I get like pissed off when I hear about these fucking assholes who have like gazillions of dollars and they're not leaving it to their kids, like they're not leaving their kids set up or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like you heard this with Jackie Chan. Is that
Yeah, you got to be a real
Jackie
fucking
Chan's
asshole.
like, my kids aren't getting anything.
You can leave them fucking anything.
Nothing. He
like
said-
not even like $1 million to
Jackie
help them
Chan's
get.
like, yeah, you're not even $1 million. He's like, nah, they can do what I did, which is go make it for themselves.
Fuck you, bro.
What a fucking, like, what do you hate your children?
I know.
You know, and like totally different world, you know, not the same opportunities, not the same circumstances, not the same level of talent, not the same anything. Motherfucker, fuck you.
Yeah, I just wouldn't have. It would just really. I'd be like, okay, well, I guess you won't. I'll be busy working instead of taking care of you in your old age, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know
it's interesting
what you're
'cause-
supposed to do with that kind of like messaging.
It's interesting because Brazil has laws that protect kids so that.
Yeah, it's not just
fucking-
Brazil. There's a lot of countries that do where at least 50% of your estate has to go to gets split between your heirs, which is your surviving spouse and your children.
Yeah.
And so I guess adopted children aren't counted.
So, like, if Jackie Chan
But-
was living in Brazil, he couldn't do what he's doing.
At least 50% has to go to his heirs.
Because it's disgusting. It's a horrible thing to do to your kids. 100%, it's a horrible thing to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Although, when you think about it, if that was like the way Donald Trump's parents did it, then Donald Trump would be like, he'd be like owning a Subway franchise or something. All right, Bill Gates' daughter is facing 20 years in prison.
What?
Did you know this?
What for?
She's for prison for wire fraud.
Oh my God. What'd she do?
Yeah, she got involved in some kind of scam. I don't. Oh God, why is everything breaking? She got involved in some kind of scam that she got involved in because she learned that her father, one of the richest men to ever breathe, who, by the way, stole the technology to get where he was in his life. He didn't even invent it. He said she's not getting anything from him when he dies. So his message to her was go out and do it yourself. And she ended up being a scammer. Part of the reason, by the way, that she might have, I don't know if it's a by the way, but part of the reason why she might have is it might be because she's trying to live up to the standard of life that she was raised in.
Yeah.
Like, amazing to me that they're not, that doesn't come into mind, that there's like, this is the level that you started the game at. You can't fucking tell me I'm demoted from the game you brought me into. Like, you brought me into this fucking game, and you're going to throw me down to a fucking studio apartment that I have to fucking work 3 jobs for after you bring me up in a fucking multi-$100 million lifestyle? What the fucking kind of psychological fuck that is, you know?
There's also like the whole like I didn't ask to be born thing, which is absolutely valid
what I'm
and
saying.
true for everybody. And so I just hate this like
There's like a whole movement of people who are like, they have like support groups about it. Like
Yeah.
people who are like, who don't want to be alive.
Oh, no,
they're not like going to
it's
take
the-
their own lives, but they're fucking angry
No,
about
this is
being brought
fascinating.
into life.
It's the anti-natalist movement. They're against people having children because they believe that to live is to suffer, and you should never inflict that suffering on somebody against their will. So when you bear a child, you are choosing for that person to live a life of suffering without their consent. So they think that it's morally and ethically wrong. I absolutely love this concept so much. I don't adhere to it or anything, but I just love I love that they just like took the philosophy to like the straight up like literal application of it, you know? But I also hate this style of parenting where they're like, if they thought that they didn't instill in their growing children during their development to be responsible with money, they're still trying to teach them even though they're like 30 or 40 years old. They're children, you know?
Yeah.
Or they're like, I'm not going to leave you anything. You have to make your own way. Well, it's like you got a fucking 40-year-old kid who's been like expecting an inheritance, planning for an inheritance, and then all of a sudden they're fucking cut off. It just seems really, really unnecessarily cruel.
I can't. I just.
It's not like living is easy, man.
I mean,
you know, like it's so crazy that it's so anti any of like the evolutionary sort of like paradigms where you try to make a better life for your children than you had all the way through. All the generations are supposed to be doing this, but then Jackie Chan gets to live and make a shit ton of wealth, and he's like, you know what? I don't think I'm going to adhere to that. I'm going to make sure that my child has a worse time than I did. You know?
Yeah, I think even Warren Buffett said that his kids aren't getting anything but $1 million. They each get like $1 million or something, and they might have even already got it. It might be like a living trust. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure, but he's also one of those guys who's like, you know, if you want to go get it, I'm not just going to give it to you. Why?
Why not?
Why not? Maybe all I want to do in this life is fucking watch birds. Why wouldn't you want that for me?
Yeah, right.
Like, why wouldn't you want that? Why wouldn't you want my happiness over my struggle? Why wouldn't you want my happiness and my peace of mind over some goddamn, like, it's just...
No, but even if your life's aspiration isn't to just hang out and watch birds, if you actually just want to do something really, really special and important,
right,
and you could use the
like
funds...
philanthropic.
Exactly, to be a real philanthropist and carry on the family name as being some fucking massive... Like, the new generation can make a better name than the previous generation. So Jackie Chan might be an action movie star now, but maybe the next generation is going to fucking solve hunger, you know, or something with Jackie Chan money.
Because they have the resources, but instead,
you know what I mean?
They're fucking... They got to go work their way up. They got to go, whatever, pull up their bootstraps.
I hate it.
I got these two weird Charlie Manson bits that came out of nowhere.
Charles Manson?
Yeah, Charlie Manson. So this person in Today I Learned posted that the main character of Star Wars was originally named Luke Starkiller.
I don't believe this for a second. I've heard this before. I don't think so. Because why would you screenwrite that?
But was renamed to Skywalker to avoid any association with Charles Manson, a killer of Hollywood stars.
It can't possibly be true. Can you imagine them writing a screenplay based on like Joseph Campbell's hero's journey paradigm and choosing the name Starkiller? No way. Mm-mm. It doesn't even sound like a name. Nobody has a name like that.
Somebody's saying that it's probably true in the comments. They're saying he was George Lucas was somebody who needed a lot of oversight in the writing. Like apparently he did things like he wanted to call lightsabers laser swords.
Can you imagine? No way.
Laser
For
sword.
sure that was just a placeholder. He wasn't going to end up with that.
He wanted Han Solo to be a weird green alien. Uh-huh. And then they were like, "Oh, he's handsome. He's too handsome."
Wait, so did his wife fix it all for him? Is that what happened?
I have no idea. It's just
who's responsible for talking him off all these ledges? That would not have been the iconic property that it was if he'd gone with laser swords. Can you imagine?
Laser swords. Put down your laser sword.
Luke
That movie would have
Starkiller?
failed. Like it's amazing because I'll bet you those early drafts of Star Wars were unbearably bad. Yeah. They were probably unbearably bad.
But this is the way of early drafts, isn't it?
It is. And that's and also the value of rewriting that I think is something that Hollywood generally suffers from.
Happiness in Your Life says glowy knives.
Glowy knives.
Exactly, bro. See, that's what I mean. They're all like bong rips in the fucking writer's room. Glowy knives, bro.
They're having a glowy knife fight.
Wait. They have to make sounds. How about pew, pew, pew? No, those are the guns.
It's so funny because they were probably like, the way it probably went was like, I am not changing his name from Starkiller. There's a whole lore behind Starkiller. His name is Starkiller.
But then
and
the
they were
headlines.
Like, and then they had to have the producers meeting. They were like, let's just tell him that it can't be Starkiller because everyone will think that he's referencing Charlie Manson. Mm-hmm. Like, just to get him off the goddamn name. Because writers, believe you me,
Oh my
get
God,
attached-
the names. Oh my God, the fucking bad names all the fucking time in the screenplays. What is with writers who like insist on finding the worst names that anyone has ever heard? I can't stand it.
Lily fucking Bloom. All right. My next Charles Manson bit is today I learned also. So I guess somebody was reading a book on fucking Charlie Manson or something. That actress Angela Lansbury moved her entire family out of California to Ireland because her daughter was starting to get involved with Charles Manson.
Oh, that's amazing.
She moved her entire fucking family.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how fucking unbelievably like how did she feel when it all went down? Like, how did Angela Lansbury feel when it all went down? She was like, man, like, you have to feel like the greatest mother
it must have been
that has ever given birth.
I would have been obnoxious in that house.
Fuck.
If my teenage daughter was pissed at me for relocating her away from her friends and then that happened,
Right.
I would be like, oh man.
Go find another cult.
Yeah, right.
It's not going to be that one. Imagine though, like, I just can't imagine what it would have been like to wake up and like hear that, you know, that he had been charged with the Tate murders and just be like looking across at your daughter and knowing you saved
Yeah.
her entire fucking existence. If like at the very least you saved massive psychosis, potential for psychosis or other like psychological problems as a result of associating with this dude. There, we just watched a great documentary, wasn't it, on him?
Yeah.
It was a really great one. Do you remember what it was called?
Nope.
Let's see if you can come up with it.
I know that the people say that the book Chaos is a much better Charles Manson book than Helter Skelter. Helter Skelter is apparently really embellished.
But I'm not talking about books. I'm talking about we just saw a documentary.
I'm always talking about books, so
Put it down.
you can rely on me for that. Glowy knives.
So, you've Glowing Knives is that's classic chat right there. You are somebody who you've been hard on yourself about procrastination, haven't you?
Yeah.
So
I'm known to be a procrastinator.
yeah,
I don't feel so bad about it though, you know, because it's fun.
and you were
It's better than doing work.
probably won't mind sharing this, but you were in I think we did this on the live anyway. You were in a traffic accident when you were a kid. You were launched through a windshield, right?
This is true. If
Yeah.
several times in
Your
my
head
life,
is covered in scars.
several times in my life, I've decided to just like shave all my hair off because
Yeah.
I'm sick of it, and then but you could see like I have really really pronounced scars all over my head.
Yeah.
From my parents we lived in Spain and they took a turn in the car. We had the whole family in the car returning from a wedding or something. So maybe somebody was drunk. I don't know. But they took a turn onto a gravel road too fast, and the car rolled in a ditch. And this was before cars were mandated to have seatbelts and stuff and child seating. So
when I was a kid, we just hung on to the fucking railings.
Exactly. So apparently my dad gets tearful every time he tells the story because it was so traumatic that he was holding me in his lap in the front seat. And then after the car rolled, the windshield was broken and I was missing. And so evidently I'd flown out of the car when it rolled, and he climbed out of the car and found me on the fucking gravel.
Bleed.
Yeah. My sisters say that I'm the youngest, and my sisters say that they have for a long time in their childhood, they had nightmares about their youngest sister having all the scars and stitches and shit all over her head. That's me. So I always assumed there was some fucking brain damage or something. I just never knew how it manifested. I'm pretty bad with numbers, so maybe that's it.
I've also suffered certain forms of trauma as a kid. And so a new study, a brain imaging study of 1,189 people found that childhood trauma physically rewires the neural networks responsible for self-control, producing chronic procrastination decades.
Oh, that's why.
But isn't that something?
that's
Because
why.
like I've been, there are times like I'm a like when I get going, you know, and I can work hard as fuck, but I can become paralyzed by procrastination, and it's like this weird thing like it's not, like I feel like I'm almost sabotaging my work or myself in some way.
Yes.
Like where I'm just sitting there and I'm deliberately doing it. Like I'm sitting there in a fucking chair and I'm like, if you're going to fucking blow this opportunity or whatever it might be. Do you know what I mean? Like it could be like, there's so many different things, so many different ways in which this has manifested in my life. And it turns out that this brain imaging shows that that chronic procrastination decades later is something that is common among kids who suffered childhood trauma.
Do you remember like falling off the monkey bars and shit? Like, you have all these stories of like falling from heights, right?
Not me, no. I
didn't you break your...
I broke my collarbone I got pushed off a trestle arch.
You got pushed? One of your friends pushed you?
My brother's girlfriend
pushed you.
We were walking up and she pushed me off and I fell 20 feet onto pavement.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Why did she push you?
On this clavicle. And I got shoulder problems. Why? We were kids. She was like, tee hee. It was like a tee hee moment, you know.
Did she push you?
Let's see what happens when I push him off the bridge. Well, I fell and I broke a bone.
Yeah, you could have gotten your brain scrambled.
Got some sweet Cody.
Do you remember it?
Oh yeah.
It's pretty loopy.
I got another one of those.
The only time I ever took those pain meds that like make you super loopy, I remember being extremely uncomfortable with it.
Really? Yeah.
Because I broke
prescription drugs don't sit well with me.
I broke my sternum in jiu-jitsu class, and they gave me really strong pain meds for it. And and I remember being like, "Oh, I understand why people abuse these." It was uncomfortable.
Anyway, I thought that was just really wild and cool and amazing.
What's your favorite mode of procrastination? Are you miserable the whole time you're procrastinating, or do you allow yourself like a little treat of procrastination?
It actually becomes this like sort of for me whenever that's shown, like reared its ugly head, it's been in this like sort of loop with anxiety.
Oh yeah, well it's an anxiety.
I'm paralyzed.
Procrastination is an anxiety
disorder or whatever.
Well, it's like
function.
It's a result. It's a result of anxiety.
Yeah, it's the milk in the cereal.
Yeah, you could say.
Or something like that. Yeah, I mean, for me that's the biggest sort of mix of it all is that I'll get like, I'll be paralyzed by the procrastination. And then anxiety will start coming in because I start thinking about the consequence of the anxiety, and then that's when I get faced with the like sort of the disorder of it all, because I'm sitting there like, oh, well, I'm not doing it. I know I should be doing it. I know if I don't do it, this is going to happen. I know I must do it. I will not do it. It just makes everything tense.
There's a very predictable cycle. Like you could represent it by like a circular, like one of those like recycling symbols, like a circular arrows. It goes in one direction, but you get stuck in this loop. It's like a spiral, like a helix. You just fucking can't get out of it. But if you can identify where you are in the spiral, there's like different bits, like different behaviors that you'll do in different phases of this cycle. If you can identify where you are, it kind of demystifies it and you can pull yourself out of it really easily. Maybe not super easily, but with practice, you get better. So I think that it's really important for people who have struggled with procrastination to learn about the cycle. Because especially like if you're in the part where you kind of convince yourself that like, oh, it's not going to be so bad, like, or maybe it's so bad I shouldn't, or whatever. When you start doing like the convincing yourself of things you really shouldn't be convinced of. That's like a really easy place to extract yourself, because you can identify like, oh, that's a pattern of thinking. I personally have to like put together a whole like witch's cauldron of like different ingredients in order to like hack myself into not procrastinating. I have to like get on the fucking walking treadmill, and then I have to have like this kind of music on, and then I just have to like completely distract my brain and then begin the task, and then I can kind of pare those things down to continue. But like if I don't have all the ingredients, it's frustrating. It's horrible. I probably spend too much time on my phone too, so that doesn't help.
Scrolling.
But I got a job to do. We have the podcast. I have to have my finger on the pulse of what's happening in the world.
Somewhat.
That's what I tell myself when I'm procrastinating. But that's crazy. You think I procrastinate because I got in a car accident when I was 2?
Well, that, I mean, that wasn't your only childhood trauma, right? You have broken home stuff and all this other stuff. So it's.
I don't really feel like it was like, I guess trauma can happen over, like I don't really
For sure.
recall,
Yeah,
like,
you can definitely,
scrambled my brain.
boil somebody to death,
But that makes sense. If you have childhood trauma, then that means that you have a sort of like on speed dial in your brain is anxiety. If you have childhood trauma, it means that you're like wired to feel anxious about things.
Yeah.
In anticipation of things.
Yeah. Basically, you can walk around and you can almost pick the well-adjusted people out as them having almost or in most instances having just solid parenting where they weren't faced with trauma, where they were able to sort of be raised in an environment where there was protections and where there was fairness and happiness and this kind of stuff.
I wonder how much of that stuff is like nature versus nurture, because I feel like there's a lot of really well-raised people who had like perfect childhoods and they still end up really messed up and needing to go into therapy and abusing substances and stuff.
I mean, I don't think that there's any one thing, but I just certainly there's not, but I think that I've noticed in my life that people who have done things that I admire, or I'll just say this. I've noticed that in my life, I've met people, or many of the people that I've met that I think are just like so kind, like where their kindness is such a predominant part of their personality, and where there's a certain amount of like their benevolence is like this, has a magnetism to it almost. Mm-hmm. Almost every one of the people I've ever known who sort of had those traits on display were people who came from great households. Just great households where there was just a feeling of like equality, where there was no like, where fear wasn't the dominating sort of energy, or neglect and anger, these many different, manifestations of what ultimately is either, is poor parenting, Because I think when you have a child, you got to the deal has to be, hey man, I'm here for you in every way possible. And there's like, I don't know, whatever. If you inflict trauma or maybe you're just not good at protecting your child from trauma. And so but whatever. Kids who have trauma, they're like, I'm not doing it. No. Nope.
Oh, about procrastination?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just like, nah. Like, Dale, when you got some time, no.
I think it's a lack of confidence that things are going to be okay. So I think when you're confronted with a task and you don't know whether it's going to be stressful or it's going to be fine or it's going to be fun or it's going to be awful, I think you're avoidant of the task because when you were a kid, you stepped right into some mess and it was horrible. So I think that's where that connection is. It'd be interesting to learn more about this stuff, like there's a lot of different types of like psychology has a lot of different theories about the development of personality and how we develop our patterns of dealing with things like pain or struggle or stress or anything. And there's a lot of different arguments for one way or another. But, definitely Freud thought that your parents caused everything,
I have a request.
What?
Today is...
Can I procrastinate?
You probably will.
What?
My request is that, can you tell us when the astrology is going to start looking good? It doesn't have to be today. Not today. Don't do it today because we're already almost 2.5 hours in. So this or 2 hours and 2.25 hours in. So you can next. What I want to have is where you can take like 15, 20 minutes, whatever it takes, where you can kind of walk us through when the shit can start to ease up a little bit.
Well, it's already good, Dale. It's already good.
Well, I'm fucked then.
No, the astrology is really
good.
good
Stuff. I'm toast.
No, so check this
like
out.
The worst year of my life.
Venus is in Libra, where she loves to be. She's in her own domicile. We got Mercury in Virgo. Virgo is the sign of Mercury's domicile and exaltation. So it's like super happy Mercury. The sun is in Virgo. Maybe the sun does fine there, but whatever. Jupiter is in Leo. Jupiter loves to be in a fire sign. I think it just depends on what's going on with you. I think we're feeling a little bit frazzled because Mercury is in Virgo, buzzing the way that Mercury does with all of like quick communication, analysis, organization. Everything's got its place. Let's sort everything into piles and then make sure the piles don't touch. And then we're going to organize everything and make it make sense. But then also in Mercury's other sign, we have Uranus, who is totally rebellious, wants to move super fast, initiate drastic change, doesn't want to think about it, super impulsive. So I think everybody's brain right now is just a little bit on like speed mode. So that feels a little weird. When Mercury moves into Libra, which happens, that's going to happen September 10th. I think it's going to be a little bit more like, take a breath. But, you know, I don't know.
Dude, I'm like having this like really difficult time, and I keep pulling. These are my daily cards. Wheel of Fortune. Ace of fucking Cups.
Those are good cards.
Oh my God. But yet I feel.
So why are you stressing, bro?
I feel like dread is all around me.
Well, don't stress, man. Just take a chill pill.
Oh.
Listen, I don't know what's going to fucking happen, man, but okay. We are currently experiencing an eclipse. Tonight, on the East Coast, it happens just after midnight. The lunar eclipse in Pisces.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's about to go down.
It is the sun on one side, the moon on the other side, squaring exactly Uranus in the middle.
Yeah.
That is a T-square. It's very rare for the sun and moon to be involved in an exact T-square. But that is extremely aggravating situation. And I think that's what we're dealing with right now.
It's the eclipse energy.
This
There's no
current
doubt. I'm
eclipse,
getting fucking crushed by. But I got crushed by the Leo eclipse, and I'm getting crushed by this Pisces eclipse. Pisces in my this is your sun house. I think
that's why I'm so fucking frazzled. Dude.
And this is my fifth house where my my ascendant ruler resides. So it's having a massive.
Let me tell you two more things.
Blow on me. And the Leo one's angular. That's my 10th house. So I'm like getting banged up.
You're getting hosed.
For certain.
Two more things about this eclipse.
All right.
Eclipses happen in 19-year cycles. So, like, the same exact eclipse that's happening tonight happened in August of 2007.
Yeah.
Okay? 19 years ago.
Yeah.
Was a Pisces lunar eclipse.
Right, which is just right around the housing crisis, basically.
That was right before the housing crisis. And I looked up the news about what was happening in August of 2007. All the banks were like, just fucking, I don't know what banks do. But they were all reacting to what was clearly at that point going to be a major.
Yeah, it was a big problem with more. Yeah, you don't have to get into it. But
right now, the tech companies are all doing the same thing. They're trying to keep it under wraps, but everybody is acting like fucking Enron did before the big fucking
collapse.
Yes. That's what's fucking happening. All the investment into these tech companies, it's just all gonna fucking go sideways. So that's currently happening right now. It's a fucking 19-year cycle. We're seeing that again. Also, we currently have several of the planets in the same exact spot that they were when the Constitution was ratified. The Constitution of the United States had a Sun and Mercury in Virgo. It had Pluto in Aquarius, and it also had Mars in Cancer, which is exactly what we have right now. And do you think it's a fucking coincidence that everybody in the United States is trying to figure out how we can protect our liberties against invasion of our privacy and all the other shit that the fucking founders were thinking of at the time they fucking made the document?
Flock rebellion, bro.
It's history is fucking rhyming right now. So something is going to fucking happen. And I should say, for the record, in case this turns out to be a wonderful eventuality, but Pisces happens to be Donald Trump's 8th house. And what is the 8th house rule, among other things?
Pizza?
Almost. Close.
Oh, death.
Death, yes. The 8th house is Donald Trump's house of death, where Pisces is, where the eclipse is happening. So I don't know what's going to happen, guys. But maybe,
God keep him safe. God keep him safe.
Let's all protect our dear leader.
All right, guys. Well, it was a weird one. We started late. It's a bit of a weird one today.
That's my fault. I take responsibility.
We started like an hour late.
Sorry about that.
And then obviously, I'm just bummed out.
It's rough.
I'm just not my best version of myself right now.
I know. It was like somebody described the Dolly Parton and Tim Curry as being like the angel and the devil on your shoulder of like your conscience. Like they're both the most darling trickster figures that we have in our culture.
Is it bad to say that? Is it bad to say that like I'm not the best version of myself right now on your own podcast? Should I just shut up like that? Should I just be like Conan O'Brien and just always be smiling?
Conan O'Brien doesn't always smile.
He doesn't?
Sometimes he rants. Sometimes he shouts.
Yeah, I know, but
Sometimes
he's doing
he
it
looks
comedically.
very aggressive.
He's doing it comedically. I mean, by always
just
be
do that.
smiling, I don't mean... How am I supposed to say...
At the door of your office, you put ABC. No, ABS. Always be smiling.
Inside. All right, so I'm just going to leave you with this last bit talking about... and this is it, and we're signing off. Researchers found that ordinary Wi-Fi routers could quietly identify people with nearly 100% accuracy.
Oh, stop.
Potentially turning everyday wireless networks into invisible surveillance systems.
What the fuck?
Literally being able to tell you where they are in the house and who specifically is in there. The wireless system would be able to distinguish me as Dale Wheatley versus you as Angela. They would be able to do that on a wireless router that we have right now.
Okay, so we're just gonna go like move to the woods and go completely off.
Like everyone's like wants to rip down the flock cameras, and I definitely agree with it. And they're logging onto a Wi-Fi where they're being completely surveilled.
That's great. That's great news,
Sleep
babe.
well, guys. Sleep well. Sweet dreams. Now, this is America. This is an American problem. You think you fucking watch Australia, all these other countries, they're going to be like, no, we're going to put up these gates. But America's going to be like, no, we want to know exactly where you're breathing.
Yeah. Well, you know what you could do is you could wrap your whole house in like one of those what do they call those? The little envelope that you put your phone in. What the fuck is it called?
Oh, yeah.
What's it fucking called? Hang on a second.
Onion?
No.
Feather?
Fuck.
Sorry, I didn't mean to sniff so loudly.
Faraday cage.
Faraday cage.
Thank you, internet. So you could just wrap your whole house in like fucking tinfoil or something. So it's like a Faraday cage, so that nobody can ever spy into your Wi-Fi.
You're gonna
net.
be like that when you're gonna fucking be like those mad people who have like the 30 different signs with the big like
Yes.
Trump and then like the whole paragraph underneath about
Yeah.
why it's there.
Absolutely, but the whole thing's going to be about how Kurt Cobain didn't kill himself, and also Elliott Smith didn't kill himself, and also it's going to be
I'm leaning
like
towards Kurt Cobain did. I'm absolutely positive that Elliott Smith did not.
Elliott Smith did not stab himself through his chest plate twice.
No.
Come on.
No way.
Let's be fucking serious.
God, I wish he'd have lived, even if it meant that he was going to make a bunch of bad music. All right, you guys. Of course, right? Of course we want him to live. Of course. All right, you guys. I hope you had a good time, despite us being a little bit on the whatever. It's not our usual selves. We'll be back on what day of the week
Are
is
you
this?
apologizing?
Yeah, I do.
Don't do that.
I'm insecure. I'm highly insecure.
It's true.
I am. I'm. It's just wildly insecure.
You're good enough.
I kind of hate
You're
myself.
smart enough.
Don't. You're gonna make me cry. I'm also very sensitive. I'm insecure and I'm sensitive. All right, you guys. Come hang out with us. What day of the week is this?
Thursday.
Today? Mm-hmm. Monday. Come back to hang out with us on Monday. We'll be back. I'm gonna be better. I'm gonna do some one-handed push-ups. It's gonna be amazing. You'll see. I'm gonna come back. People are gonna be like, "Wow, where'd you get the shoulders?" I'm gonna do that this weekend. Take care of everything. All right, you guys. Have a blessed night.